Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday live stream of Nightmares. Just kidding, not Nightmares. We're pretty calm around here. This is our normal Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern live stream talking about the stuff of the last week. I picked out a few different topics. I already know that one of them is going to take like half the show, so I'm going to plan that out. So that it's gonna be a lot, and we'll talk about it. And yeah, so we're here live. It's not only me, the sound out. I should stop telling myself the sound out. That's happened twice now. But we also have the awesome graphic designer, Darklaw643.
Yo, Joe!
It is a very Yojo energy around here because that video did really well. And then our other awesome co-host guest, awesome person, is the one and only Fighter Kaus.
Hey, I'm here to provide color commentary. Maybe not play-by-play, but definitely color.
Speaking of color, there's a lot of spandex on the schedule today. For those wondering what we're talking about this week, we're talking about well, first of all, we're going to talk about the Indiana Jones reveals because I can spend like 5 minutes on that and it'll make me feel happy. And then we're going to talk about Shin Ultraman's Blu-ray release for the people that don't follow me on Twitter. And then we'll talk about the deluxe KingOhger, which is apparently the name of the Mecha for the next Super Sentai series. And then after that, we will be talking about Power Rangers Lightning Collection leaks because
They're everywhere.
they're everywhere. We can pretty much talk about it ahead of time. On that note, though, if you haven't seen in the last week, I forgot to put... I always keep forgetting to do this. Like, this is my promotion spot of like, hey guys, here's what was on the channel last week. And then I forget to put that as my first tab. But first of all, if you haven't seen it yet, last week's videos, we had the SH Figure Arts Kakashi Hatake, famed Sharingan hero, go up, which did not great for the channel. It does seem like Naruto and Sasuke was a bit of a flash in the pan moment for the line, where I think people were like, oh, is the line good? And then kind of moved on. But if you haven't checked that out, it's a short video. It'd make me happy if you watched it. And then we have the Hasbro's Greatest Hidden Gem, G.I. Joe Classified Series 2022 rundown, going over the entire year.
Thumbnail done by me.
Thumbnail done by Ryan. He drew all these characters. And the video is Sergeant Slaughter approved, according to him retweeting it out on Twitter. So it's a great one, and it's doing really well. That's doing really good numbers, especially lately for the channel. So, anyways, those videos are up. This week's videos, you'll be getting a Super Sentai video on Wednesday, not a DVD. It's a toy. And then on Friday will be the Marvel Legends rundown, which I got a lot of work ahead of me on that one. They put out 161 figures this year. So, on that note, that's pretty much what's coming up on the channel. We'll do the quick questions. If there's any long questions, we'll save them until after the topics, because we do have a lot of Power Rangers leaks. I'm looking at my tabs. There's a lot. But let's answer some questions, because I like doing these in between news topics, just because it's fun that way. So, what do we got from the chat? I'll pass it off to Ryan.
What is your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure? I'm going to be honest, I read a lot of bad comic books that I know are bad, but I enjoy them anyways. Pretty much, like, I'm reading every single X-Men book of the last several years, the whole Krakoa era, and a lot of them aren't great, but I don't really care. I just keep reading because I enjoy the I enjoy the shake-up in the formula. I really do.
I know, this actually might be a little more older, but I remember the last X-Men book, I did try to read I think it was last year's main ongoing series, and I looked I read of it, but I'm just, the problem I have with the modern X-Men era is I feel like you do a lot of catching up to understand, like, what's going on with the status quo, because it's like a massive status quo change for X-Men. But man, I got out of the loop, so like I need to find where that began before I could really fully read and appreciate it.
My thing with the current X-Men stuff is I read it all, but I don't know how anybody keeps up with it if they don't read all of it. Like, yeah, I don't know how to recommend a single title. Like, I can be like, oh, X Factor was amazing, or like this run of X-Men by Jerry Dugan's really good, or something like that. But like, the thing is that every single book keeps tying into another one, so I don't know how to I don't know how to recommend any X books currently.
I did really like what I read of. I think it was a while back. I think it was X-Men Blue. I think it was X-Men Blue a while back, where it was following the teenage X-Men crew of Jean, Scott, Colossus.
Oh yeah, that was the one that had all the controversy because of how they handled Iceman.
Oh really? I didn't know. I only read like the first 3-ish issues.
Yeah, I think it was X-Men Blue. But basically, like, teenage Jean Grey is a nightmare and doesn't respect people's boundaries, and yeah, that led to some problems. People were like, "Wow, this was a poor way to have Iceman come out as gay because Jean Grey reads his mind and tells him he's gay." It's like, wow, that was a choice. Marvel's gotten better at this over the years. X-Men books in particular.
That's unfortunate. Whoa. I didn't like what I read of X-Men Blue, at least the first couple of issues. So, let's see. Do you think that Mecha Barnes should be fired from, I guess, Power Rangers?
I'm not going to say anything on the topic because I have very strong feelings about the writing on Power Rangers. I'll just say that the writing on Power Rangers is why I don't watch it hardly anymore. So, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't ever ask for anybody to be fired, but I would say, like, if I was suddenly thrown in charge of the Power Rangers show, I would get an entirely new writing team because I don't think the one that's currently doing the show is doing a good job. It's just it's fine when they're doing storytelling stuff, but their dialogue, oh my god, do they not understand natural flow of dialogue. It's the most stilted show I've ever seen, and that says a lot because I've seen a lot of really bad stuff. But anyways, that's all I got on that. I don't ever want anybody to be fired, but somebody really should give them coaching. I don't know. Anyways, because I don't know who makes the decisions on how the dialogue is written in the show. So I'm not going to say anything. At least
I think script proof, like proofreading, script proof. I don't know, like I'm not sure it's the right term.
Don't they do as somebody who's actually in the Writers Guild?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard to get joined, so that ain't really a. But anyways, usually they do table reads and read it out loud. Like without actually like filming or being or like on stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they just read it and they go, this sounds all right, or that sounds weird. I guess they don't do that.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel like it. Because every time I'm watching the show, I'm like, is this the first time anybody's read this out loud?
Exactly.
Yeah,
because I think it's harder to, especially when it comes to a lot of character resets, where you just think like, do they do table reads? Because since they do half the episodes in Dino Fury, feels like the characters learn the same lessons over and over again.
That was my problem with Beast Morphers. Ravi will learn the same lesson 6 times in one season.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Brian, I apologize for mispronouncing me. Were you a fan of Los Luchadores?
Oh yeah, I used to watch Los Luchadores. That was that's never a show I followed up on as an adult. Like, that is one I have left.
Oh, that's the Saban wrestling show, right?
Yeah.
I actually remember that show, yeah.
I actually remember watching it. I thought about watching it again as an adult. I think I watched like 10 minutes of an episode and I was like, no, I'm leaving it right there where it was. I had a poster from a Fox Kids magazine that used to hang up in my room at some point. But Los Luchadores, it is a Saban show. It doesn't get grouped into the tokusatsu stuff because it is mostly like superhero luchadors. There is an evil chihuahua who is the main villain, and it's the funniest thing ever. And I don't want to watch the show because I feel like I'm going to like taint whatever weird like regressed memories I have of it.
As someone who likes the cheese, someone who adores cheese, stupid humor, I kind of think that's kind of my type of show.
I think that's my problem with Dino Fury. Just not to like relate the two. I think Dino Fury is a much higher quality production than Los Luchadores, but Los Luchadores knows it's a stupid, silly, goofy show. Dino Fury tries to play it serious, but it doesn't work because their dialogue still sounds like it's from 1994, but they're trying to play on modern things and like, look guys, there's stakes, but then their dialogue sounds like the first reading of a script because they had no time to shoot anything. what it is, I think if Dino Fury aired in 1996, it would be a great show. But because it's airing in 2022 or 2021, 2022, and now 2023, it doesn't hold to like what else is being made around it in the same circles. But yeah, no, Los Luchadores. That's a heck of a show.
Well, I'll say this for Dino Fury. I think I'd rather kind of take kind of just generic cheesy dialogue to As someone who fortunately had the force to see Velma, the Velma series of X recently, I'd rather take just this kind of cheesy dialogue and over it like this meta jokes 24/7.
Well, there's a whole discussion about Velma that we don't have time for, because I've been seeing the clip. I was like, I'm not going to watch this show, but I'm curious to see how the internet reacts, and I'm like, wow, this really was somebody's self-insert show that was completely reskinned with Scooby-Doo characters.
You don't like you don't like you don't like dialogue that is constantly just meta jokes 24/7 or just being mean 24/7.
Super mean. Yeah.
It's like whoever wrote it, I don't know, like, man. It's like the bitter, I don't know.
Alright, let's see for Jason. So thoughts on the CMS Fies Gear 20 anniversary version, as well as the CMS Fies Blaster?
I think it looks great. I still cannot. Talking about shows I don't want to watch, Fies is depressing, guys. I keep trying to watch it, and I just get sad.
I know people joke about
it. And I stop for weeks.
People
meme about him, but like I literally can't watch the show because of Kaiser, because he's such a unlikable guy who doesn't get come out.
You know, my problem with Fies is I don't like anybody, but I'm also like, wow, I understand why you're all unlikable. Your lives are horrible. Why is every character horrible?
Yeah.
There isn't a single nice person in that whole show.
Yep. Brian, again, why wasn't Fortnite Snake Eyes covered in the rundown? Because he's technically a Fortnite figure.
Yeah. He would have been in the G.I. Joe rundown if he was a G.I. Joe, but all the packaging branding was Fortnite. Even though it was a classified repaint, it was a Fortnite release.
Under the Fortnite Legendary Series.
It's kind of the reason why I didn't cover, what was it? My brain just shot a little bit. It was a couple years ago, Marvel, there was a Marvel thing that used Legends molds, but it wasn't under Marvel Legends, and I excluded it for the same reason.
Was it one of the movie tie-in lines?
It was one of the movie tie-ins. It was some... Anyway, I think it was back in like 2017. They had something that was not Legends branded. It gets weird, but yeah, basically it's like...
Well, here's a question, actually, for at least, when we get to next year with the 2023 rundown.
Yeah.
Will you be including the Cross Spire figures in that rundown or no?
Yeah, because they are Marvel Legends according to their product tags.
Oh yeah, because they do have the Legends. I think they do have the Legends logo on the box, don't they?
I'm still trying to keep Legends to just the 6-inch, because if I start including the 3 3/4 inch and the roleplay stuff, it's going to get out of hand. It's just I'm sticking to the main 6-inch scale line, so that way
Same with Power Rangers. You want to do like the role player zap, since
I'm not doing role player zap because it'll just make the videos too long. If I was not commentating, if I was just like checklisting, I would totally include it. But
also, just letting everybody know, everybody asking for KingOhger questions. That's gonna be a whole
yeah. We're covering KingOhger in a few minutes. That's one of the topics today. So yeah, don't worry. Anybody that's asking KingOhger stuff, we'll be getting to it. We're just kind of doing pre-questions while everyone kind of filters in before I talk about Indiana Jones for 5 to 10 minutes.
Let's see. Thoughts on oh god. Wait, hi Metal, I see you in the chat.
Oh.
Thoughts on PR fans versus trajectory for you.
It was a weird weekend. If anybody doesn't know, or at least I think one, maybe two of the triplets who played Traya Triforia and Power Rangers Zeo went on Instagram Live and was saying a bunch of insane stuff, like absolutely the most bonkers, like, oh my god, these people need therapy level of things.
Weren't they being very distasteful?
Oh, incredibly distasteful. They were like, they were apparent. I was trying to figure it out, but I think they were mad that they weren't on a banner alongside other actors for Ranger Stop or something like that. And they complained, and so they got themselves uninvited from the convention. They decided to take their grievance to Instagram. And yeah, that was, oh god, they streamed for like 6 hours in total across 2 days. and it was just like, okay, I'm not gonna repeat. I think half the stuff would get me demonetized anyways, but they just.
A lot of like what, right? I don't.
I'm not gonna say anything because the thing is that they were. The short answer is they all need therapy, but they don't believe healthcare is real, so that's going to be a problem.
I'm one of those people.
I know that they've been banned from more because they were straight up asking people to attack like Catherine Sutherland and Nakia Burrise.
Yes.
And it's like, what? Those are the fandom's like collective moms of the fandom. Nobody's going to attack them. Why are you going after like two of the nicest people?
And they were being like really distasteful about James David Frank's passing. I heard.
Yeah, there was again because I don't want to say it because YouTube's weird. But if you want a rundown, Toku Chris on Twitter has like a play-by-play. He's been logging everything they're saying because he's like, we can't just can't just ignore this because this is really bad. I know that Ranger Stop and Morphicon have both banned them from coming to the events, and I think the other conventions are working on doing that as well or if they're not aware. People are letting them know because I know because I talked to Zeltrax and Zeltrax had already messaged the guy who runs Ranger Stop and Scott Zillner who runs Morphicon, and both of them confirmed to him that like no, they won't ever be invited to the conventions because they were getting like incredibly hostile and
they were.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It gave metal life Saturday. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it was also like kind of hilarious at the same time because of how insane
it gave
was.
metal life. He was actually very animated for once.
Yep. And I gotta say that like at the end of the day, I saw one of the best comments that was posted to the live stream, which I won't say who it is so that they don't get any flack. But they said basically, calm yourself. You were in 5 episodes.
And to be honest, and to be real, Brad Hawkins, the majority of you guys works.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. They were like, "Oh, we're the original Gold Ranger. We should get as much credit." It's like, no, you weren't. And there's discussion too about how they got on the show that I won't talk about here, but there may be some other things. There may be some deep dark conspiracy as well. Anyways, Power Rangers behind the scenes is messy because Saban is a crappy person who hired crappy people. So that just caused all kinds of things to happen.
Support the good people. Support the good people. Support David Yost and such. Yep. Anyways, Common JoJo. Do you guys want a Marvel Legends Sentinel from MC2? Yes. I would love a
yes.
Which Sentinel?
The Marvel's of Capcom Sentinel.
Oh, I would love the crap out of that.
I really want it because I can't afford to get the Haslab Sentinel, but I would love to make that the human scale Sentinel from the Marvel's of Capcom games because I really do love that design.
Yeah, no, they're great.
Is that original for MVC? The designs?
Because what happened was it was in Children of the Atom first, and I believe that was made specifically for Children of the Atom. They decided to reuse it for MVC. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what it was. I think because it was originally because they wanted to have the Sentinel in, but had to scale it down. So they were like, let's make a new design. It's a different model.
Yeah, let's redesign a human-sized Sentinel.
I will say because Brian brought it up. In terms of because if I was gonna mention it, I can't just super cryptic. No, basically the Triforia or the whatever their name is, the 3 that played Triforia. Apparently the reason why they were hired. Let's see, how do I put this? If you guys know old Hollywood terms, they weren't hired for their acting ability. And I won't say any more because YouTube, but it's a rumor that's gone around, and I think it's got enough confirmation that they were just kind of brought in because they happened to know a producer or two for a specific reason. Because I think they were all models or something. Like I don't think they weren't actors. I think they were models. It's not to say like all models who become actors are doing it through nefarious means, but there's a lot of them. And in terms of this situation, that's why they were only in a few episodes, which is because they were brought in to just transfer the powers to Austin St. John. So that was their whole purpose.
First, and Austin St. John was way longer. So
yep. And the reason why they didn't use Brad Hawkins was because he was already shooting VR Troopers, and they didn't want to have confusion of him being on 2 shows at once. Yeah. Even though they had Sarah Brown on Zeo and VR Trooper, whatever.
That's a whole can of worms.
Boy, is
there's a whole can of worms with Sarah Brown, that poor woman. Anyways. The point is, guys, enjoy your 90s TV shows made by Saban and not think about the people that were behind the scenes because, oh my god.
Let's see, Brian. Also, do you want our legendary Little Morbius?
I would. I don't know how many other people would, and I think that be why. You know what? That if they actually made that figure, I'm making a TikTok trend so that people buy it up.
I
don't know. It's gonna be the best-selling Marvel Legend because of a TikTok trend. I mean, the movie only is known because of the meme, so why not?
I bombed. It's the first movie I ever bombed twice.
Exactly, and it was because of a meme. So,
yep.
All right, I'm gonna talk about Indiana Jones for like 5 minutes, just because I like talking about stuff. So, anyways, you guys didn't know, based on the $500 worth of props I reviewed on the channel, I really love Indiana Jones a lot. I'm going to be reviewing the figures coming out. Hasbro's got 6-inch Indiana Jones figures coming out. I was talking to a friend who's not an internet dweller recently, and he was like, do you think Indiana Jones 5 is going to be good? And I was like, you know what? I honestly don't care. It's giving me everything I want. I got props. I got figures. They're fixing the ride at Disneyland. Like, you know what? It doesn't matter if the movie's good or not. I'm getting everything else I want. So,
I mean, in that case scenario, like, seeing how passionate Harrison Ford is about the movie, it was not even.
Harrison Ford cried at the trailer reveal. If anything, he's happy.
If the movie turns out to be kind of messy, I can at least it's gonna be. I feel it's gonna be filled with a lot of passion if it turns out to be messy kind of scenarios.
Exactly. So to go alongside that, Hasbro's got new figures, and they did a fan stream last week, and it was great. They showed off the kids' toys, and I was like, I'm not buying those.
Wait, there was kids' toys?
There was kids' toys. I can show them in a moment. But the thing I did want to highlight was that they had these Adventure series figures. So this is a figure that leaked, and somebody bought. I think they found it at Frankensons in California. But it's the Club Obi-Wan Indiana Jones from the Temple of Doom opening.
Wait. Was it really called Club Obi-Wan?
The actual nightclub from the opening of Temple of Doom was called Club Obi-Wan because George Lucas is a nerd. And so there's references to Star Wars in Indiana Jones. Like,
the most infamous one is just the R2-D2 C-3PO in the temple.
But people don't remember that the actual club, because it's in Shanghai, so Obi-Wan's not too far off of a name. The Shanghai nightclub is called Club Obi-Wan, and most people don't like realize this. But anyways, this is a Target exclusive. But the thing I wanted to highlight was that he has this really tiny diamond accessory, and he comes with just a bunch of stuff like a flaming skewer of chickens and a giant sword and a little vial of the antidote. And he's mostly unique sculpt. And I almost jumped ahead there. But this is a $25 figure. Whereas with Star Wars, every time they do an exclusive, even if it's not like a ton of new parts, it'll be like $28. So I'm glad to see that. And then the other ones they showed off was the Walmart exclusive Indiana Jones professor look from when he's like, an archaeology professor. And this one comes with like the shield of the knight from Last Crusade. And the only thing I noticed is that he doesn't seem to... Jumped ahead again. He doesn't seem to come with glasses. So I might be buying a certain Leaked Lightning Collection figure just to have glasses for my Indiana Jones. I also... Yeah, this is 2 suit bodies for Indy that are the same mold. They just repainted them 2 different ways. And then this is a Walmart exclusive. And then the last one's like one of the villains from Last Crusade. It's the lesser known villain because he kind of shows up at the beginning and the end. This is Walter Donovan. He's famous for looking for the Holy Grail and then turning into a zombie because he picked the wrong Grail. And the funny story with him is that he reuses the legs from Grand Admiral Thrawn from Star Wars The Black Series. So that means he's the only one with double jointed joints anywhere.
But it's interesting that I would say all the indie figures have single jointed elbows and knees.
Yeah, they're just like the Star Wars figures where they have the single jointed elbows and knees.
Which I think for these figures are not going to be too bad since like
there's a lot of dudes in suits.
Yeah, a lot of the indie, like the Indiana Jones are not well known for their like super high action.
Yep.
High action. They're just dudes, but like
they're not doing martial arts moves as much.
Dudes. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
There's dudes.
Dudes in suits. Like, this is going to be dudes in suits, the toy line, I tell you.
Yeah, but it's interesting that like I'm not sure it's just a budget thing with Hasbro right now, but I know the Dungeons and Dragons figures also have stinger joint elbows. Not just for their knees, but I know their elbows are stinger jointed. So I don't know if like Hasbro is like pulling the budget back and they're less.
Considering Hasbro said they want to increase profits by lowering production cost, I would think that's the case.
Like they'll keep like double joint elbows for like Marvel Legends and Power Rangers.
I think Marvel Legends and Power Rangers are safe because they can reuse those molds over and over again. Dungeons and Dragons and Star Wars and Indiana Jones, they can't use the molds as much, so they're kind of cutting back. MCU Nerd popped in and said, "Sorry, I'm late. What did I miss?" All we've talked about so far was Power Rangers actor drama, and we're just looking at Indiana Jones figures before I move on to things that the chat's probably more interested in. But I did want to talk about this Indiana Jones stuff. They did pipeline reveals of Wave 2, and I wanted to just express my panic over this. First of all, they're like, here's Temple of Doom Indiana Jones from the bridge scene. I'm like, perfect, great, that's the iconic Temple of Doom look. And so they did this, and I was like, okay, cool. Is the whole wave Temple of Doom? Like, the first wave was all Raiders. And they're like, here's Short Round. And I'm like, thank you, wonderful, great. And then they're like, here's Hypnotized Indiana Jones. And I was like, okay, that's weird to put two indies in one wave, but all right, sure. And then they're like, here's Indiana Jones from Dial of Destiny. I'm like, all right, that's tying into the movie, that's fine. But wait, is that three indies in one wave? And then the last figure is Helena Shaw from Dial of Destiny, who's a new character. But I'm like, guys, there's three Indiana Jones in one wave.
Oops, all indie.
Oops, all indie indeed. That also means we have 6 indies in total already.
It's just about Stacey with a hat. But the mouth of Stacey with a hat.
She got 2 hats.
Yep, because the thing is, we got Raiders indie, we got Professor indie, we got Club Obi-Wan indie, we got Bridge indie, Hypnotized indie, and Old indie. So that's 6 of them. And then the only other characters we got Marion, Tote, Belloc, Sala, Helena, and Donovan, and Short Round. So we have 7 characters and then 6 Indiana Jones. And that accounts for 13 of the 25 we're getting this year.
I'm kind of worried with the store shelves then now, because like, oh boy, I can't wait to get gonna find all the characters for Indiana Jones, all indie on the shelf. But they're all like, it's not like the same indies, all like all the different indie variants.
All these versions, that's my only real concern is that there's too many indies. Let me go see if I can find the kids' toys.
Because even like Masterverse, like there was like a Skeletor and He-Man, a wave, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like they don't make they didn't make all the He-Man variants so quickly. Also, the chat reminded me. There was it the page for Club Obi-Wan indie. So I'm trying to find the kids' toy pictures just so we can laugh at them a little bit. I'm
surprised they haven't confirmed like they're doing like retro card figures of the old Kenner figures.
They are doing retro card figures.
Oh, they are?
I just don't care about them, so that's why they didn't show up immediately. Let me look at my list here. I wrote these down so I wouldn't lose it. So in the description for Club Obi-Wan Indie, it mentions Henry Jones Sr., which is of course Indy's dad, played by Sean Connery, the Grail Knight, which makes sense because we're getting the shield with Professor Indy, and Mola Ram, who is the big bad from Temple of Doom. Yeah. So no Kingdom of the Crystal Skull figures yet, but I feel like it's going to happen at some point, at least in Indiana Jones.
They're going to do Shadow of the Booth eventually.
Let's see. They showed a Monopoly game. So they showed this whip. And this whip just kind of like you swing it and it like extends out a little bit.
Is it like one of those like party blower like
kinda? It's kind of like that. I saw someone on Twitter repost a picture of this and go, "Oh look, it's baby's first dominatrix kit," and I never unseen it since.
That's funny.
Yeah, they were hitting each other with it. There's an electronic indie that whips his whip and makes sounds.
I'll never forget the horrifying. It was just a skull. You guys remember that one 12-inch indie electronic figure with a horrifying moving mouth?
Yes. Yeah, that was during Crystal Skull. That was Anyways, the Worlds of Adventure line, which is they have a Star Wars line with these really small figures and vehicles.
This is like the mission fleet.
Mission fleet, yeah. These are basically that for Indy, but then they're like, let's give Indy an adventure backpack because there's not that many vehicles for Indiana Jones. These look fine, but I'm like, that's not my thing.
I imagine, honestly, I'm surprised they're doing this because I imagine it's kind of more hard to do kids' toys of Indiana Jones where the first room literally had Nazis.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is I mean, there's also Nazis in this movie. Apparently the Crystal Skull kids' toys sold really well. I saw some people that had worked in like sales departments and stores going, "Oh yeah, those sold really well," and so that's like, see, they're doing these.
Well, technically, you say kids' toys, but back in the day, there wasn't really a collector's line / kids line back in the day. It was all one line.
And they did do a good job of like the Apollo Doom figures got canceled from the 4-inch line, and they released them as a Comic-Con box set. Here's the retro stuff. So they had shown Retro Indy, who still has his Retro Indy still has his whipping gimmick that they added, where you like pull the trigger or whatever, and he swings the whip. And then so they're making pretty much everybody else.
Look, they're not doing a build a figure. They're doing at least the first wave of build a.
They're doing build an artifact. Yeah. So the first wave builds the Ark of the Covenant. Wave 2, they didn't say what the build was, but I'm guessing it's something from Dial of Destiny, because everything in Temple of Doom, like its artifacts are like the Sankara stones, which could just come with Indy, or like one with Indy, one with Short Round, one with Hypnotized Indy.
I don't think they're doing a build a figure of the evil. What was the monster being called in Temple of Doom?
Yeah, no, that'd have to be a separate thing.
That'd be a separate thing.
Yeah, so I don't think it's that, but I think that the Build-A-Piece is going to be Dial of Destiny related. We just don't know what that is because we haven't seen that movie. But that'll tie into the stuff, because they said that wave's coming out in time for over the summer in time for the movie kind of thing.
I kind of want the Crystal Skull build an artifact, but just the UFO.
That'd be pretty cool.
Or the alien, honestly, just the alien.
The whole, like, they could have the whole chair and the alien, and then the Crystal Skull is like a part, but also an accessory. Anyways, they're making the German, like, mechanic dude who Indy fought next to the plane. Yeah, I mean, these are cool. If you liked the Kenner style and you want to get, new versions of them or whatnot. This was kind of neat too. I'm not super into the retro stuff. I'm getting Indy, and I'm probably stopping there because I want the Adventure series. This was kind of cool, is that they actually during this presentation listed, here's where you can get available at most major retailers, including Hasbro Pulse in the U.S., Canada, UK, France, fan retailers in Amazon in Germany and Austria, fan retailers, e-com, and toy specialists in Spain and Italy. Like, they actually gave global release details.
It's kind of nice because, like, I know, like, it's kind of up in the air with a lot of the lines where, the G.I. Joe's got to be only Pulse,
G.I. Joe's only Pulse in Europe.
Just Pulse?
Just Pulse.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, but anyways, I do think the Indiana Jones line is looking fun. Again, I'm going to be just focusing on the 6-inch stuff, but Monkey Brain. See, okay, the Monkey Brains needs to come with Willie. Willie needs to come with the Monkey Brain. She has to have that as an accessory, because that's important to her. Also, I think Short Round needs a car, but Hasbro's not good at selling cars.
Should I remind you of the Flame Dodger?
I am haunted by it every time I close my eyes. Yeah, also, I think there's also Lego Indiana Jones stuff coming out this year.
Oh, no, obviously.
If you guys see just a bunch of Indiana Jones videos this year, it's because this is my year. And I mean this because the Crystal Skull, that toy line lasted 1 year and then it was dead. So I'm just gonna enjoy this while it exists. So if you see too much indie stuff on the channel, it's because I'm enjoying this. This is our last shot at this, because I don't see Indiana Jones existing without Harrison Ford in some capacity, because it's just how it is.
You need to do a special. You need to do a special intro to reviews now, where you do the whole classic, replace the idol with the sand now for those videos.
Yeah, I need to do that. I need to do some. I need to buy myself a hat, and I should be a whole indie year. That's what's gonna be.
Don't you still have that old brown hat you used to wear in the
I
videos?
do,
or
but
is
it's
that
the
all,
wrong
like...
style. Like, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta do it right. All right. Yeah. Okay. So Smith the Crow said, "This is my moment." Soundout12. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. This is my this is my Indiana Jones moment. And Spin Dash said, "You could say this is your last crusade for indie toys." Yes, this is
Well, pretty much,
absolutely.
because I don't think we're gonna get any. I think this is gonna be the last indie film.
They'll try to do a reboot, but it's never gonna come together. Young Indiana Jones Chronicles was like only because George Lucas was making that. Like, that only happened because of that.
It's so because what was the rumor before the new film was it was gonna be like Chris Pratt was gonna be like some kind of young indie or something like that.
Apparently, Chris Pratt was like approached to play Indiana Jones, and he called Harrison Ford for permission, and Harrison Ford was like, "You can have the role over my cold dead body." I think that's the greatest Harrison Ford moment in history. It's just like, he does not give a crap about Star Wars. He doesn't care at all. But you try to touch Indy, and he's like, "No, not until I'm dead."
That's his baby. That's his baby. Should we rest the questions before we get to the next topic?
Yeah, pull up questions real quick, because the next topic's confusing, and I need to mentally prep for it.
Alright, so, do you think, let's see, Brian, do you think this slime would do better than Ghostbusters and Overwatch? Maybe. Indiana does kind of have a history of not doing super well in retail, so
I'm gonna say, because of Ghostbusters is why I'm like, this is my moment. Because Ghostbusters was in and out in less than a year. Like, that died quick.
With Ghostbusters, that was clearly meant to be just a tie-in, just because the new film was out. So
Sony only cares about Ghostbusters merch when there's a movie to promote.
Yeah, like, I don't think the Ghostbusters, this whole Ghostbusters toy line, that was meant to be the year toy line. That's
we'll probably get more toys when the Afterlife sequel comes out, and then we'll just only get it at those points in time.
Indie, at least I could see them.
Indie's still, like, because it was co-signed with the Lucasfilm license for Star Wars. So if it does well and they want to continue, they have a partnership with Lucasfilm that's beyond just indie, so it could continue if they want to. I'm really sad Plasma Series couldn't even get us a Slimer or a Janine. Like, that's
because the Plasma Series figures definitely are probably the best of the 6-inch Ghostbusters. I mean, can you compare to
the problem with the Plasma Series was the fact they were like a half-inch shorter than all the Black Series Star Wars figures. That was an issue. I don't know why they were so small. I think that's what turned people off the line too, was the size. And
I think with Indie, since by looks like they're mostly focusing.
Indie are Star Wars size because Donovan is using Thrawn's legs. Like, that confirms that they're
they kind of need to, since the two franchises are kind of connected to the hip kind of things. Like, that's why I think the Indie. I think it looks like they're more focusing on the collector stuff compared to Ghostbusters here. So, like, I think they know.
They know the audience is older. Like, Indiana Jones and James Bond are two franchises that appeal to an older audience just by default. So I think that's how they're gearing it.
With Indie, they have, if you're a Star Wars fan, there's a good chance that, like, you're an Indiana Jones fan also, which is they're banking on also. Like, there's a good, not 80%, most Star Wars fans will pick up at least Indiana Jones almost.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What else we got in the chat before I want to get to the Shin Ultraman part of this discussion. So, like, because it's mostly just me expositing.
Boop. Welcome to the chat. What do you guys think of Comrade Geet so far? I haven't.
I'm 2 weeks behind because GimCorp stopped subbing it suddenly.
I've been a week. I just need to see the newest episode.
I'm probably switching to Izu subs because they're pretty on top of things.
Yeah, they're good. I've been. That's the ones I get. They're very
I love
decent.
GimCorp subs, but every time they sub a currently running writer show after episode 16, they just vanish for a few months, and I'm like, they got things going on. No big deal. Like, I'll just switch groups and then come, and then they usually pick it back up in time for the last arc, and then I'm like, okay.
Let's see. What about the let's see, what about the Young Indie series? Again, as you say, it was because of George Lucas.
I would love to see that show get a proper release, because I think all of it came out on DVD.
Yes, Splash that. Speaking of Splash, that
Yeah.
said. Speaking of Young, do you think they'll ever put that on Blu-ray?
They might. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Disney's been pretty tricky with Blu-rays lately. They might. But then again, is it under? God, it was Young Indie under Paramount still? Because like the thing is even though Disney's producing Dial of Destiny, like distributing it, all the movies are still are still owned by Paramount.
Yeah, because like Lucas, those films aren't Lucasfilm, right?
Yeah, because Lucasfilm was partnered with other studios. Like Star Wars was released by Fox, and Paramount owns. Yeah, okay, yeah. So the show was Paramount Domestic Television, Lucasfilm, Amblin Television, and Paramount. But it aired on ABC, so God, freaking corporate bias.
It's rights is weird.
Yeah. I have never actually watched that show in full. I would really like to.
Let's see. SC4J Simpson, man, we never got Plasma Series Extreme Ghostbusters. To be fair, they never did real Ghostbusters. So, if they were to do, let's say, if Plasma Series did actually make more outside the movies, I imagine they would go real Ghostbusters first and Extreme because Extreme is a sequel to real Ghostbusters. Common Jojo, do you guys think we'll get Power Ranger Squadron from Super Mega Force in the Lightning Collection?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe they'll definitely based on the comic.
I would not rule it out as an absolute never happening, but right now they're having trouble completing a team with all their proper accessories, so I don't know.
I mean, it's gotta be based off the comic version from Universe, PR Universe.
Yeah.
So, aka like you're hoping to get like Shishi.
I don't think we're going to be getting Die Rangers, but I could see us getting the Power Rangers Universe ones. But then again, they could just go for the Die Rangers because they're a little easier to sculpt. I don't know. It's a flip flop.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think we're gonna get male Ryu Ranger. We're gonna get the female Ryu Ranger, which I know is gonna. Gonna piss a lot of people off.
Likely.
Mostly Sentai, which I know is gonna piss a lot of people off because they're Sentai PRSs.
But as me and many others have said, this is Power Rangers Lightning Collection, not Super Sentai Lightning Collection. So.
Wait. Speaking of Ghostbusters, what was with Tamashii randomly making figure art Stay Puft?
Yeah, they had a figure art Stay Puft on display one time and it never went anywhere.
I guess it was like
I would have bought it.
I guess it was like a license thingy.
It was Vegeta sized, like grade 8 Vegeta sized, I think.
I still remember the Mattel Mattel Matty Collector Stay Puft.
That was a good time.
I'm curious if that figure still holds up to it because I remember that figure was made out of like a foam or some kind of material to make it like soft and squishy. So I'm curious if that holds up over a decade now. Kind of scenario. Let's see. Hey Sam, have you seen the Good Spot Company's doing a Moderoid Voltron?
Yes, I have. Okay, I had no idea SH Figure Arts Stay Puft Marshmallow Man actually released.
Oh, yeah, actually came out?
Yeah, Spin Dash, I just double checked, but back in 2016.
Huh.
Oh, but he's like person sized.
Makes sense. I think that was before they made any of those big figures.
Yeah.
Speaking of Moderoid, because they did review, because I had their like big Mecha event yesterday.
Yeah, Moderoid went nuts. I did see the Voltron. I think it looks good. I'm probably not going to buy it.
I would say now.
El Dorado from Gun X Sword.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks beautiful. I would say now that I've built the Moderoid Dynazenon, they're really good. I was not expecting because if I had to compare, their plastic quality is comparable to Flame's toys.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Flame's toys plastic quality, which is really good. And the stickers, there's a lot of them, but they're not actually horrible. They're actually pretty easy to apply, and they're also.
Are they matte? Sturdy?
Yes, they're sturdy and they're matte. Like they have a matte finish on them.
Oh, that's good.
They're not like glossy, and none of them are peeling. Like I had this Dynazenon for a while now. They're not peeling. It was actually really easy to apply all of them, surprisingly. But yeah, like honestly now, building the Dynazenon, it does combine. It's solid. It's not like it's a combining model kit, and I expect it to be.
It's probably more solid than the deluxe one they made.
Yeah, no, it's like super solid because most of the time my experience with combining model kits are all kind of been rattly a little bit. No, it's like super solid and has like still a lot of possibility. There's still like issues. I think the only thing holding back Moderoids is them still using polycaps, like polycaps in their builds. But honestly, like I'm really surprised how well it is because I have zero expectations from Moderoid, not knowing what their quality would be. But yeah, it's a lot better than I thought it would be. Speaking of Gridman, I saw are they doing a remake of the DX full power Gridman with
Yes, they're
Monoid?
remaking the full power Gridman, and they're actually making Dyna Dragon for the original. Here's the Moderoid.
Because they made a DX scale original Gridman like a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was part of the they did DX full power Gridman, and then they did the Gatai Thunder Gridman, but they never did the Gatai Dyna Dragon. But they're finally making. I'll pull the image up in a second. I'll just put the Voltron up for people to see.
Okay, I was because when I saw the full power Gridman, I thought it was the Moderoid. But I guess
the Moderoid's already up for pre-order. There was a prototype for Moderoid Thunder and King Gridman.
I might get those probably
to go. Yeah, they're building out their Moderoid line.
I do.
But anyways, there's the Voltron for those that haven't seen it.
I'm kind of miffed that I miss. Cause I guess the Grid Knight and Goldberg stuff was exclusive.
It was exclusive to the Good Smile shop.
Which is kind of frustrating because I can't get that anymore. But looks of it, which is kind of frustrating because I kind of want to complete the set now.
They're also doing a bunch of the Gatais from Mike Guy.
My guy, which look fantastic. I might.
And these are like the big transformable kind.
Yeah, like honestly, seeing how well Dyna Zenon turned out, like I'm honestly really want to collect all these other combined.
Yeah.
Like especially the Gravion mechs. They look great, honestly.
So yeah, because the original DX full power Gridman was a piece of trash from everything I saw about it. This looks much better. This is a hard design to get. It does not translate well to the toy.
That's kind of the plus of Dyna Zenon is I feel like after
and then there's the Dyna Dragon.
I feel like after the response of the full power Gridman DX, so I feel like they intentionally designed Dyna Zenon to be a little bit more toy friendly.
Yep, absolutely. Which is why I'm still waiting for the Super Mini Plod. Freaking Bandai.
I'm curious how different the Super Mini Plod would be from the Moderoid. Because honestly, the Moderoid does some clever things where it's parts for me, but it's more of like a parts form to make the individual components a lot more cleaner. Like Dyna Striker has two parts to make his car form look like his actual show model instead of like obvious arms, the obvious elbows. And same with Dyna Diver having a separate top one that becomes.
By the way, they're making Thunderbirds 2086 Moderoids. They're on a roll.
The Godnander. I was really excited to see the Godnander Moderoid.
Yeah. This company's impressing me, especially hearing that their quality is improved, because some of their Good Smile's early robot stuff was rough, but they've gotten much better, it sounds like.
Yeah, it feels like, again, I really say the classic quality on Dyna Zenon is like, because Dyna Zenon's not that, it's like pretty, it came out like, last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sturdy. It's like super sturdy. Again, the only thing I think holding it back a little bit, in terms of being like a really, really good kit, in terms of being like a perfect kit, is I think the polycaps are holding them back, because there's a reason why like Bandai's been moving away. Bandai Kobiki has been moving away from polycaps.
I like how these are all robots, and they're like, yeah, RoboCop. I'm like, that's technically still a person.
But yeah, because with polycaps, like they're nice, but like they do kind of make everything feel a little more loose and loosey.
Mm-hmm.
Then
the fact they're doing the Chariot from Knights and Magic is awesome.
And honestly, the prices on the Moderoids are not too bad because they usually pretty decently color separated and such like that. The only reason Dyna Zenon has so much stickers is because there was so much detail on Dyna Zenon.
Oh, Kaus, did you know about Moderoid Orgus? I don't know if he's still here. Anyways,
I'm here. I'm here.
Orgus. Moderoid Orgus exists. Or will exist.
I have a question for Orgus. Where is he going?
And when is he coming home? I don't know when he's coming home. They doesn't have a release date, but.
All right, back to reading some questions.
We're gonna move soon. For those wondering, we still haven't talked about KingOhger or Power Rangers leaks. So.
We'll talk about that. See, let's see, we take a T. Hadropulse made a cool mistake when the ship, where the ship the same figure twice, but don't charge me just for the second figure.
Oh my God, the old Hasbro Toy Shop thing. I once had a duplicate order from Hasbro Toy Shop, and they didn't charge me for the second.
That happened to me. That happened to me with Shout Factory with the Japanese Transformer series. So.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna switch us over to Shin Ultraman for a minute. So, as you may know, some of you may know. I don't know. I'm not going to assume anybody knows. Last week, Shin Ultraman had its theatrical debut in the U.S. For 2 nights, where it made over $600,000 in 2 nights in 1,000 theaters in the middle of the week. Amazing. That is an amazing box office numbers. It was like ranking number 5 out of the top 10.
Wednesday was sub. Thursday was dub.
Wednesday was sub. Thursday was dub. Sub made about 25% more money than dub did, and I don't know if that's because it was Wednesday instead of Thursday or just because people preferred it. But anyways, that happened, and the same day of the sub showing, there's this announcement went out on Ultraman Connection that Cleopatra Entertainment got the DVD and Blu-ray release rights for Shin Ultraman. And a lot of people were confused because they're like, who the hell is Cleopatra Entertainment?
Yeah,
and I said,
that's what I was going to ask.
And that was also my question. And I did a whole deep dive. But the announcement was basically that they were going to be doing video on demand and a deluxe home entertainment Blu-ray and DVD release. So,
did they have a release date for it yet?
They said spring, which is soon because the Japanese Blu-ray is not even out. All right, so looking at this here, of course, I had the famous Charlie Day conspiracy board GIF for this. I did the research, so you can read this on my Twitter feed if you want to, but you're getting in the highlights here. So basically, they put this announcement out, and I was like, "Has anybody heard of them?" Did I get anybody that had heard of them? I think Spin Dash told me about the release catalog. Steel G mentioned that they're a music label that's been releasing Z-list video on demand titles. And yeah, that's basically what I found out. So, step 1, Shin Ultraman, released in Japan May of last year. And then it went to the Toronto Film Festival in September. And when it went to that film festival, Toho put the distribution rights for the film on bid. That's pretty typical at the Toronto Film Festival for a international film to be sold to North American distributors. It just on a bidding war at a film festival. You go see the movie, and then you decide if you want to distribute it, and then you put in your bid for it. And the company that won the bid was The Exchange, which considering... so when I saw the movie, they did have the Exchange logo in front of it, so this is all... I can confirm that they're involved with the entire distribution. But Variety reported on it. The Exchange had a press release. They got the distribution rights for the film for North America, Europe, Latin America, Australia, New Zealand, and others, basically anywhere outside of Asia. So that means they're in charge of distribution. So at this point, following the way that this works, Subaraya loves making Ultraman, but they're not a very big company in terms of money, so they could not distribute the film in Japan wide themselves. When we get Ultraman films released in Japan, they're now part of the Subaraya Imagination streaming service, like the Trigger and Decker movies are. And then they get a limited theatrical, which is sort of like how Shin Ultraman was here, where it's only certain days.
We distribute the pre-Trigger movies, like the G Orb and such.
Toho typically did the distribution. Now with Shin Ultraman, Toho distributed once again, and it made so much money in Japan that Toho decided, we want to shop this around to another distributor because it has value to it because it made a ton of money. And so Toho, Subaraya is hands off at this point. Subaraya basically handed the movie to Toho. Toho's distributing it. Toho then took it to a film festival. They sold it at the film festival to The Exchange. Toho no longer is involved with the distribution. The Exchange is. From there, the Fathom event finally happened after the dub was produced. Now, there is one correction to this thread. Supposedly the dub was produced by Crunchyroll. It wasn't. Looked into this some more. Actually, Darkon did the research on this, which was really helpful. But Crunchyroll didn't produce it. Okatron 500, which is Chris Sabat's company.
Chris Sabat, yeah.
That's the reason why, because...
and Kacha Sound were the 2 studios they used for dubbing this.
Yeah, because I knew it had to do something with them because a lot of the actors confirmed for the
Yep.
English dub was a lot of the
And
Dallas
Sabat
actors.
produced the dub himself.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Okatron 5000, not 500. Thanks for the correction, Blue Baron. So it wasn't dubbed by Crunchyroll. I didn't feel like adding another tweet to this because I said reported to be. It's just because it has so many people that usually work for Crunchyroll. It could have been a Crunchyroll dub, but it's not. It's just an Okatron 5000 dub.
Yeah, the Dallas production. Yeah.
Yeah, that was also Kocha Sound was another like newer studio that did some of it for actor availability stuff. So that was how the movie was dubbed. And then now it's been picked up by Cleopatra Entertainment. So this is a company that has a lot of video on demand connections. They put out like Steel Jig mentioned in the reply to my tweet. He had mentioned how they just do Z-list movies. They don't put out good stuff. Like they make movies and then they release them to Amazon Prime or whatever. Not a company known for quality. They don't acquire stuff as much as I noticed, and they don't do usually foreign language films. They usually just do English stuff. So this is weird for everybody. Okay, so if you're all like, why the hell did they get this and not somebody else?
We're also
it's
thinking
weird.
that.
Yeah, exactly. We're thinking it. It doesn't follow any trends.
You're thinking that we are also confused.
Yep. I don't know much about the Exchange or Cleopatra Entertainment because there's like nothing on them besides they exist and here's the movies they've released. I tried to see if there was a correlation.
See if I've seen any of them.
Yeah, because the thing is, I tried to see if there was a correlation. Like maybe the Exchange acquires films that are released by Cleopatra a lot, so that's why they got the rights. It could have just been a bidding thing. Who knows? It's weird that they got it. But that's just how it goes.
Well, I see more of like they were probably cheap too. Like
that may have been also a possibility is that they were cheaper than Mill Creek. The thing is maybe, and here's the other thing too: the Exchange just picked up a film that did really well. They won a bidding war, and now they're distributing it. They may not have thought about, Mill Creek's been releasing the Ultraman franchise. They probably don't even know. They're just picking up a movie and distributing it.
Do they even know that Ultraman's his big franchise, or do you see this, movie made big money, what's distributed kind of scenario?
I honestly, I think that's more likely, and that may be also why they decided, let's just do a 2-night Fathom event and not do like a 2-week run or something. Because I think Ultraman could have supported a 2-week run. Clearly, in the 2 days, they made a bunch of money. But anyways, that's digressions.
How many days was Shin Godzilla out on theaters?
Shin Godzilla had a single day Fathom event, and it was so popular they added a week of showing. So, but anyways, personally, if I was in charge of a company distributing things, I'd look to see if anything was connected to make sure things lined up. But that's just not how the industry works. So they probably picked this company because they worked with them before or something else. I don't know. Anyways, the short answer is Cleopatra got it. Now, the weird part is Cleopatra doesn't release Blu-rays. They're a music label that got into movie distribution, but they don't actually produce Blu-rays. They're not a Blu-ray or DVD label. And that, I don't know if that concerns me because I looked into, I was like, all right, well, who does release their stuff on Blu-ray? And it is a company called MVD. Now, let me get past
familiar.
MVD has a wonderful Blu-ray line called MVD Rewind Collection. And they essentially, their whole mission with that collection is to release on Blu-ray in the highest quality possible, movies that people knew simply from renting them from VHS video stores. So their highest profile release was The Return of Swamp Thing, which is certainly a B movie, but it's one of my favorite ones. I actually like this one better than the original Swamp Thing movie because, much like we were talking about with Los Luchadores earlier, it knows it's not good and it embraces it. It takes it and it embraces it. Love this movie.
Like those trauma movies, right?
Like the trauma movies, yeah. It's in that same vein. I love Return of Swamp Thing. I bought the Blu-ray because it needed to go with my DC collection, and then I loved it. I also love their release of it because MVD, nobody should be caring enough about some B-movie Swamp Thing sequel that pretty much people didn't see in theaters and only watched on VHS rentals when there was nothing else available. This Blu-ray had a full 2K scan of the film, 3 hours of newly produced bonus features, archival bonus features from a previous DVD release, scans of posters and merchandise and tie-ins and like all this stuff that like nobody, and it came with a poster. Like nobody should be putting this much work into Return of Swamp Thing on Blu-ray, but this company did that. And they also released Cleopatra Entertainment films. So I can't say this for sure. Do not take any of this as word of law or anything. But I'm guessing that maybe Cleopatra is going to give the Shin Ultraman Blu-ray off to MVD to do. Because from what I can tell, everything I've researched, Cleopatra doesn't release Blu-rays or DVDs themselves. But they just confirmed they're releasing it on Blu-ray and DVD. But if they have the rights and they go with somebody they partnered before, MVD, we could be in a good situation if MVD's handling the disc release. That would be the optimal, ideal outcome to all of this, because MVD is great. Now, the one downside is MVD ain't cheap, because they're a boutique Blu-ray company like Discotech, where they're very small, so their releases cost more.
To make the money back kind of scenario, I imagine.
But conversely, Shin Ultraman already has all the work done. There's already subtitles. They came with the movie. There's already a dub. That's already been produced. So they may not have to do any work on it, and it could bring the price down. The other downside is you're probably just going to have to buy this online. Unlike Mill Creek stuff where you could find it at Walmart and Target, I don't ever see MVD stuff in stores. So now this does not mean that Cleopatra is going to use MVD, but if they do, which is what they've done in the past, we're in a good hands. If Cleopatra passes off the Blu-ray DVD rights to another company, that's fine too. I just don't see them doing it themselves. Now, if they do it themselves, I worry that we'll have a RoboCop the Series situation. RoboCop the Series was the first disc release from a company that previously was a music company, and they botched it so badly that I could never trust that company again. And that was because they promised a HD remaster of a really bad RoboCop series from the 90s, which I knew that was BS from announcement.
We're talking about the cartoon.
No, we're talking about the live-action 90s show that was produced in Canada. RoboCop the series got a Blu-ray and DVD release. The Blu-ray was cropped to 16:9. The DVD has video compositing errors that cause it to glitch out, and they both look like they got ripped from a VHS tape. So it's really bad. Also, they advertised multiple featurettes, and the featurettes are just text descriptions. So RoboCop the series is a really horrible example of a release, but that was a music company that released a Blu-ray, and it was their first Blu-ray release. I'm hoping that Cleopatra is handing this off to somebody else because that's what they've done in the past. Like, essentially, Cleopatra will put this out on video-on-demand platforms, and then they'll pass it to somebody to do the Blu-ray. And because of their past history, it could be MVD, but it also couldn't be. I don't want to keep tangenting on that,
so,
but I don't have any confirmation.
You're cautiously optimistic?
Cautiously optimistic. If we get the pre-order for this and it says MVD is releasing it, I will just gladly tell everybody to go pre-order it right now. But if it says Cleopatra Entertainment, I'll be like, hold off until I get it, can review it for you. Because it's good to have stuff on disc, but it's also not good to throw money at bad releases.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I used a Simpsons GIF, which I think I used correctly. Where,
why
didn't insert company get this? And then it's just the sales chart thing from Simpsons.
So should we get back to reading some questions?
You can read some questions. If anybody has any questions about the Shin Ultraman stuff specifically too, now's your time. We'll be transitioning to KingOhger after a round of questions. So,
all right,
question up.
Brian, Disney still owns Luchadores. Do they still own it?
Yes. Do they know they own it? No.
Probably no.
Do they care to ever find out that they own it? Absolutely not. If
Konami
somebody goes asking for it, maybe they'll find out.
I know, right?
Yep.
Let's see, conversation. Do you guys think the triplets are playing their Hell and Terror situation? No, that's a kind of different thing.
What kind of situation? I didn't catch.
Triplets. Is the triplets situation similar to the Helen Taylor situation? No, that's very. One's about money and boycotting.
They're both asking people to boycott on behalf of them making a bad decision, and that's the only similarity.
Let's see. They need to do Moderoid Original Gridman. I imagine that's coming the next one after they do.
I think they showed a prototype even. I remember seeing that when I was looking for
so
my
Moderoids
choices.
are actually worth getting now, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds like they improved. It's like Mofex. Mofex was really bad when it started, but they've gotten better, so.
I don't know if it's really
good to
know. Did not know they did a bit at film festivals. I mean, that's the reason why the people go to film festival is to
especially the bigger ones, like Toronto Film Festival is a big one. A lot of the independent films, they get distribution by going to a film festival because they can't distribute it themselves. Everything Everywhere All at Once was made by A24, but A24 is not a distribution company, and Lionsgate won the bidding on it, and that's how it got released.
Let's see. Ryan, what's your favorite Fox Kids show that isn't PR, Marvel, Toei, Digimon, Looney Tunes, DC,
favorite
Transformers?
Fox Kids show.
That wasn't. It isn't like one of those.
Did I?
That isn't what?
That isn't Power Rangers, Marvel, Toei, Digimon, Looney Tunes, DC, or Transformers.
Oh boy.
Metabots. Animaniacs was a Fox Kids show at one time.
I remember liking Rusty and the Big Guy when that was aired.
Big Guy and Rusty was a good one. Godzilla the series.
Was Men in Black one?
Men in Black was
that
one.
Yep.
Men in Black, yeah.
That was technically Marvel though. That was a Marvel production.
Was Stream Ghostbusters Kids TV or was that Fox Kids? Which one was Stream Ghostbusters on?
Well, what channel was that on? ABC? I thought. Oh, NASCAR Racers. I saw NASCAR. I love NASCAR Racers.
Racers, yes.
I love the toys. Screw Mask. I want a NASCAR Racers revival.
Was Gunder? Gunder was not Toei, right? That was a different company. Was that Sunrise? Gunder.
Gunder was Sunrise.
All right, that's one that we're liking.
Some good examples.
This is the Time Detective count. I like that show.
Comment Joe, did you guys think they will get Shin Go Ranger? It's called the 27 Lionsgate 2017.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever get a Shin Sentai ever.
I don't think, because the thing is, to do the Shin style that Anno's been doing, he's not that big of a Sentai fan.
Yep.
Like, he has homaged Ultraman, Godzilla, and Kamen Rider throughout all of his works, but never Sentai.
And to be honest, if we're talking about just Sentai, not Power Rangers, I can't really see how you can really do a Shin style or like darker version of Sentai.
I mean, Shin Ultraman's not even a darker Ultraman. It's pretty. Shin Ultraman had my theater in stitches with how much they were laughing. It was great.
Well, like I don't know how you really make a Listen, I don't know how you can really make
Sentai's. Guys, we already got Shin's Sentai. It was Dawn Brothers.
Well, it's more just like with Sentai, there's no point of making a quote Shin Sentai when Sentai always keeps changing. Sentai's
always modernized itself, so you don't need to do a modern retelling. Because I think as much as Go Ranger is like the first or whatever, or even Battle Fever is technically the first, Sentai's always modern. It's always modernizing, so you don't need to go back and remake.
Well, also, unlike Kamen Rider and Ultraman, where they have a basic, they have their own origins and themes and everything, and Sentai is just work together, teamwork, save the day versus evil bad guys, fight.
Because the thing is, Shin Ultraman is taking the idea of humanity fighting for itself and what its worth is in a universe that has powerful beings like Ultraman. Shin Godzilla is about how the failure of government in disaster situations causes more pain than good, and fighting the problem is more important than trying to figure it out before you even engage. And then Shin Kamen Rider is about the arrival of cults in the powerful, rich people that run the world, and how that's going to dismantle our society quicker than anything.
Plus the combination of the whole loss of humanity, loss of humanity, all that kind of themes of Kamen Rider. Sentai is literally just Teamwork, save the day. Beat bad guy. Hooray!
Well, except for Don Brothers.
Exactly. That's why I'm like Shin Don. Like Don Brothers is almost the Shin Sentai in this.
They hate each other basically. It's like
let's go watch Love After World Domination. There you go.
Akiba Ranger as well. What else we got? Because I want to get to the KingOhger stuff here in a minute.
When we get more Ultraman movies in theaters, seeing how well Shin Ultraman is, I won't be surprised we'll get more in the quote Shin universe, or you want to call it.
I could see us, in terms of like Western audiences getting stuff in theaters. I would really love it, even though I don't think it's going to happen. Is if it was like Ultraman Decker finale one night Fathom event, see how it does. See how it does.
I guess it all depends. Like, I guess it really depends how up to Starlight Runner. I guess if they set that up.
Because the thing is, like, if they could do like a single day like Fathom event just to test the market to see if it's because Shin Ultraman has the Ano connection or whatnot, or if it can do well on its own. Because look how many viewers you can see how many people watch Decker every week.
I think if Starlight Runner put the effort in it, I think they can, because Lego did a similar thing for Ninjago recently, where them and Fandom team up to air the final episodes of the latest season Ninjago for like a one-day event with fans. So if Lego could do it, I could see if Starlight Runner wanted to put the effort, they could do something like that for the Decker movie, for example.
What else we got? Because I see the chat is anxious for the KingOhger. Oh, I do know about the Discotheque stream, everybody. I didn't mention it, but there was a Discotheque stream Monday the 30th at 6 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, something like that.
Blueberry mentioned we probably won't get a steelbook version Ultraman, probably.
Probably not, but they did say deluxe home entertainment release, so I'm not exactly sure what that entails, because I don't even know who's making it. So that's just a TBD thing. Just gonna have to wait and see. I'll cover it on the live stream when it gets announced, and of course I'll do a video on it when it comes out.
Will Shin Ultraman make it to U.S. theaters? Probably. There's a good chance.
Toei wants it to. I think it could. There's a chance it could.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Do you think this in this scenario Crunchyroll will distribute this one?
I don't know, because they don't even want to dub Futo PI, so who knows.
Oh, cops again. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, I was getting anxious. Should we talk about KingOhger now?
Let's talk about KingOhger. Here is
cops coming for KingOhger.
Oh yeah, I switched it on one. Guys, I'm still learning the OBS stuff. I think I know everything. I don't.
I try to teach you, but
Yeah, I'm not. God, I just clicked the wrong thing. That's not the right. There we go.
It's less of a Yoda and less of a Yoda and Luke scenario with Castle and sounds more of a Anakin and Ahsoka scenario with them
very much
trying to mentor each other.
Anyways, let's look at this shot here. So I hadn't talked about the suits. This is now we got a better shot of them in front of their giant CGI castle.
Also official, so we won't get in trouble.
Yeah, Toei, this ain't leaked. You put this on your Twitter. I like the suits. The thing I like specifically is the color layout because it's different. Red, blue, yellow, of course, but black and purple being the other two is great.
Yeah.
I think my only issue is just red and maybe blue of the secondary, because I really like how purple has that light purple, yellow has practically orange, and black.
But it is red on red and blue on blue. There's not a second contrast color with them.
The contrast is not like if red was a very crimson dark red, then I think it would look better, work better because it really blends. Blue's a little bit better than red, but still, it took me a while to get used to Red's helmet specifically, but I do think I warm up to the helmets especially a lot.
I like that they're different.
I like that they're different. I do love Red's like other beetle legs is like a mustache.
Yes. I was gonna say it's like I like that they're different, but not like Dawn Brothers where everybody looks like they're from a different team. There's cohesion to it.
There's no cryptids or Sonic the Hedgehog characters here.
Yeah, they're all suits. The only thing I'm worried about is these suits breaking down over the course of the show because they're very involved.
Foam. They're very foam. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do like them. I like shoulder capes a lot. I'm a Lando Calrissian fan. I like shoulder capes.
They're all Doripimon then.
Yeah, basically. I think the sword is. I don't like the
Okay,
sword.
so
I'm gonna be
what
honest. I don't like
is
the
the
sword.
henshin device? Because I've been seeing conflicted things.
It's apparently the sword. The sword is the henshin
It's a sword.
device.
Okay, I
I
did see
don't
some.
like the sword, and the reason why is because it just looks like a bunch of tech stuff slapped onto a sword.
I get the idea of having each bug on the hilt, but it does kind of look busy.
It looks incredibly busy. I don't like it. It just looks like a bunch of stuff that just kind of slapped on. Not a fan. I do think though that I like what I'm seeing. It does look like we're getting a knight theme, even though they're all kings.
It's Saber
Like,
2.0.
yeah, the thing is, like, Toei just never
Warrior
wants to give
Kings,
us
I
a knight
guess.
Sentai, do they? Ryu Soldier was not a knight Sentai. They were like, oh yeah, sure. Their name was Knight. There was nothing knightly about them.
Dino Fury went more into the knight aspect
Yeah,
than
like
soldier.
Ryu Soldier was like, oh, we're knights. I'm like, yeah, are you? It's like Ninja. We're ninjas. Really? Are you though?
So
I would love an actual like knight Sentai. These are kings that look like knights, which is cool.
purple.
But
purple.
we don't know their
What
gender because we don't know
I
anybody's gender technically.
Yep.
I mean, the thing is, we don't know the gender of any of these characters officially, right?
officially.
But based on like Toei habits, we can see that blue looks like a male character. Red looks male.
Red is always male.
Black
Never
looks
be
male.
female.
Yellow is in a very feminine pose, like a typical Sentai feminine pose. Purple though, purple's pretty neutral. I mean, color wise, if you're assigning colors to genders, purple is a neutral color. So I'm curious to see.
Especially since that color of purple can be seen as feminine or masculine. Like,
yeah,
the shade being that shade.
yeah, that's not like a it's not a distinctive.
I mean, in terms of like queer representation, I do like if it is some kind of queer representation for purple, like some people like to think. I hope it's good because Toei has a bad history with queer jokes. We'll say.
Yeah, I mean, Toei is the kind of company to go, oh yeah, here we go. One Kamen Rider show, we have a non-binary Kamen Rider in the next Kamen Rider show. Nobody can fight if they're a girl, and it's like so close. You get so close, but
And let's not get. I don't want to go into some really distasteful jokes of like certain gender swapping episodes of.
No, I mean,
shows.
It's something that I think Japanese
What the
media.
hell? Are we talking about Deep Space Nine right now?
No, but welcome to the chat wheels. We were talking about how the purple KingOhger, we don't know their gender because they're in a very gender neutral pose in a gender neutral color. And the thing is too is that like Toei has done good jobs with queer representation outside of the main series stuff. Like I saw High School Heroes got mentioned. That was done really well. And Black Sun did a lot of discussion about stuff. It's not that the cultural awareness is lacking. It's more so the ability to kind of commit to it. And I think that Toei, and this is the thing people forget too, Tokusatsu is a very progressive medium in Japan. They will, the fact that like Super Sentai had a woman on the main team was progressive for the time. And she wasn't like the joke of the episode every week. Looking at you, 70s Mazinger Z. Yeah, no, God, they're so horrible to Sayaka. I don't know why she didn't just fire the breast missiles at the base and leave. Anyways, but so Tokusatsu is fairly progressive media, all things considered in Japan. So I'm curious to see where they'll go with it. But not necessarily, because we don't know anything, right? This could just be a male character. This could be a female character. But
it could be a robot.
It could be a robot. Yeah, they've done that before. I mean, the last thing we had a non-binary Kamen Rider, and they were a robot. So yeah.
No, it's what's her name from Light Man? The robot girl in Light Man. Yeah, hopefully this other one does.
Colon. I still can't believe there's a robot named Colon in my favorite Sentai show. Anyways, but in terms of like, we gotta wait and see. I don't want to get my hopes up that they'll do something cool because it's Toei, and if they've done anything consistently over the last 15 years of my life, is disappoint me. So
that's on the shield weapon also, since we don't see it here.
Shield weapon's cool, I guess. The problem with a lot of these weapons is I see them in stills, and I'm like, how do they work in motion though? Do they look cool when they're using them? Because I've seen weapons that I'm like, that looks cool, and then I see it in motion. I'm like, that's not that cool.
That's a lot. That's a me with a lot of character designs and animation, where it's like, I don't want to essentially mark with promotional artwork, because sometimes the promotional artwork can look vastly different to their final show appearance. Hi, Rise to the Team. Your show, all your promotional artwork does not match the show style at all.
Mm-hmm. But let's talk about the robot, because oh my god, the robot.
Wheels showed me it, and I think it's dope.
Let me switch windows here. I'm doing it.
I had Demon Wolf play the video last night of them playing with the toy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play the video because I do not want to invite controversy. I watched it. You know, this. All right, so
it's got a lot going on.
All right, so I pulled up
the I like and stuff I hate.
I pulled up the images for the KingOhger God Kabuto set. Now, as far as I can tell, correct me if I'm wrong, the mecha is called KingOhger.
By the looks of it, yes.
Yeah.
I've already got questions, even though I've seen it.
I just started watching Mask Man the other day because I needed to refresh. I need to get my Sentai spirit back up again. But like, Mask Man has a vehicle named Turbo Ranger 2 years before Turbo Ranger existed. Like their mecha carrier is called Turbo Ranger. But the fact that we have the mecha be the name of the Sentai,
that's not confusing.
You know what? I live in the Marvel world, and I see names get reused all the time, so I'll take it. But
Human Torches.
How many? How about the fact that there is a whole Nova Corps, and then there's a separate person named Nova who has nothing to do with them?
That's like having all these Spider-Men, but no one wants to come up with any cool names outside of Scarlet Spider.
That's the thing, is they wasn't even called Scarlet Spider in canon. People just called him Spider-Man. It's just like Spider-Gwen. Nobody calls her Spider-Gwen. They just call her Spider-Woman or Ghost Spider.
Well, yeah, I would say Ghost Spider, sadly.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a whole live stream for a different day. So this is the big old combination with the extra mecha add-on that's coming out at the same time.
Yeah, good old Roboborg.
It looks cool. That arm looks unwieldy.
Well, I imagine it's more like a finisher. I guess I honestly see this like a finisher weapon, honestly.
So let's talk about the big deal here. First of all, they're putting the text in English. They know we're watching. Let us buy the toy. So it is a 10-part combiner.
It's like they're hoping Hasbro stops making Power Rangers so they can just start distributing it in North America.
Honestly, why not? So it's a 10-part combiner for the main robot.
Why? No matter what, they'll get our money.
They're going to get money either way. But all right, so here's the thing. So when we heard it was a 10-part combiner, I thought that was insane for the main mecha. Now that I see it's 5 mecha and then 5 little like extra bugs that you can just add on to finish it off.
Our first ant mech.
Okay, so first of all, we got God Kawagata, which is of course, God, what is that in English? Stag beetle.
Stag beetle, yes.
Yeah.
Beetle.
And in some places, the Kawagata is actually also a Hercules beetle. It's fucking confusing.
You said the bad word, Will.
Yeah, well.
Oh, jeez.
No, YouTube changed the rules.
They changed them back?
Yeah, they realized. Remember they said it's the first, like, minute of the video?
And we're like an hour in. Yeah, we're an hour in.
Oh, God. NECA just put out another Universal Monster figure. Anyways, moving on.
Don't forget, the moral of the story is YouTube doesn't know what they're doing. Jerry, was it you or Dean Wolf that made the quote that said, YouTube just is progressively getting worse every year, but some years.
Yeah, I said that.
Yep. I also say there is a YouTube thing now. If you get a copyright claim on the video, and there's like a thing where like if you get demonetized, you may have to pay back the monetization from the video.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's bad. Anyways.
You're broke.
Back to Beatles.
Back to Beatles. Kawagata. So he's most of the robot. Like he's the arms, the torso, part of the legs. He's a lot of things. Then we've got God Tombo, which is Dragonfly.
Which is only purpose in life. Only purpose of life is to be a stick.
Okay, what's
just a stick? God Kamakiri, the mantis, is a leg. God Papillon, the butterfly. What does the butterfly do? I don't remember now.
Wait, you want to hear how it's funny? It's part of the helmet and the hilt to the sword.
Sword, yeah.
Wait, it's not the helmet.
It's not even that the. It's
What's,
part helmet and
Part of the
part hilt to
helmet
the
and
sword.
also part of the sword, yeah.
Oh, I see. I see the red on the individual mech. Yeah, I see.
Yep.
The horns or the
I say it now. God Hachi, which is a wasp.
bee.
It's a bee. Anyway, that's the other leg. And then there's 2 God Tentos, which is the ladybug.
Ladybug. I dated the ladybug. They're just lumps.
Yeah, God Kuma, which is the 2 spiders, and then God Ant. God Ant, the most powerful mecha of all time. And then also, yeah, God Kabuto, the Hercules beetle. He looks a lot like
Roboport.
Yeah, I was about to say I was gonna try to go with the Japanese name and I forgot what it was.
Kabutarios.
Yeah, there you go. But looking at them, I think it's great that they're all bugs. They're all mechanical bugs. Freaking love this. This is unique and interesting.
I just love we literally have a Sentai mech called God Ant.
Yep. And then yeah, their combination. Here's everybody. I mean, I'm not gonna go pull up the other pages, but
I find it interesting that the spiders are like inverse of each other's color scheme, but they go one versus the crotch, one versus the chest.
Yep. And then also, adding to this, there's also a Donotanagen head option for this. That's the early pre-order bonus or whatever. Which they don't have a picture of. But
there's probably gonna be some like early cameo like last year with Don Butters, I imagine.
I imagine that's why they're showing this to us now, and not later. Because apparently it's a Donotanagen head, so I think it's going to be like Enya Rhydon showing up in the Zenkaiger.
That's kind of the one thing I actually do am liking as of late with Sentai mechs is they're kind of making the even though they're not fully compatible, they're kind of making the mechs themselves kind of like intercompatible with each other. Where if you only collect the mechs, you can play them with your old mechs instead of just all being separate.
Also, 400 millimeters in length on the arm cannon, which is, God, that's long.
You like this chrome inside the bug, though. You had to horribly mutilate the bug.
Yeah. That's about 500 millimeters shorter than Nurse Desi in Dragon Mode.
You had to horribly mutilate it to transform it by the looks of it.
Yep. Box art's fire, but that's been a thing.
Well, that's just the Bandai. That's just the Bandai norm now.
Yep. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. This set with all 11 mecha is 13,200 yen.
That translates to how much in USD?
130.
Let's see what it actually is.
Well, yeah, the exchange rate would be cheap.
I'm just going to Google this. 13,200 yen to the USD. That's $102 currently.
Oh, look at that.
Is that cheaper than Don Onijin?
Otanagen. Let's see. Let's go back to product information. Because it's not like that many Sentai toys come out. We can just scroll back. Let's see. Let's find the price for Otanagen because Otanagen is much larger. Now,
yeah, he was about 100 something.
Yeah, let's see. Don Otanagen was 9350, but was a lot larger. But was only 5 components. There was less transformation involved. He was a pretty simple mech, all things considered. The base package is the same price for KingOhger with the 10. The 10 make the set is 9350.
So like Don Onijin was like what? I remember he was like 15 inches. He was like definitely a tall toy.
He was a tall toy. This one is 270 millimeters, and I'm an American who doesn't know the metric system, so that is 10. So he's only 10 inches. So this guy is
that's your normal
Sentai robo size. Don Otanagen was like, hey, what if your cluster mecha from the end of the year was just your main mecha? So this guy's smaller. Now, the thing is, I see a lot of clips that haven't been used. This could be very, very much a simple, let's just build the heck on this thing.
They always do, like, the future proof. There's always clips. Like, there's always future proofing a lot of these Sentai mechas.
But yes, it does have posability, which is great. Don Otanagen had posability too, but this has got more posability.
He has, but it looks just he has like in and out, bicep swivel, wrist swivels, maybe head articulation, maybe waist. It's hard to tell.
They showed us waist. Yeah, we saw it.
Oh, legs in and out, knees. I think he has ankle pivots. It's hard to tell, honestly.
See, so Otanagen was 360 millimeters or 14.17 inches tall. And this new guy's 10.18 inches tall, or...
Wait, hey, Sound, how much was Don Onijin again?
He was...
93 something.
14.17 inches tall.
No, I mean, how much was he?
Price.
360 millimeters.
Price.
Oh, price.
Bro.
Price was the same. 93.50. Sorry.
Wow, 93.50 for that, but yet a Zap Megazord's about 140 for the same height.
Well, much more cheaper plastic.
Yeah, honestly, that's the thing is that, and I know shipping's gonna skew this for a lot of things, but like, yeah, that's one of the problems with the Zap Megazords too, is that like
Like,
Sentai,
we can still buy this for this less than the Zap Megazord price because of the conversion rate.
Let me go. Let me see. Is this guy up on Amazon Japan yet? I don't know if the pre-orders went up. I think they just revealed it, but
I think it's
pre-orders
just
this weekend.
Oh, pre-orders
this
this
weekend.
weekend. Okay.
Supposedly.
Yeah, because I know that because I know they revealed this because they promised a KingOhger announcement and then said, "Oops, we said that too early." And that's how we ended up here. Yeah, because like the thing is with getting a Dan Onitajin right now, if you get it on Amazon Japan, let me just throw one of these in my cart and then look at it. If you were to order a Dan Onitajin right now from Amazon Japan, shipping to the US, it would be $8,662 or sorry, 8,662 yen, or about $68.62. But that's because it's discounted currently at 5,851. So yeah, when we talk about like, Zap Megazords, are they worth it? For me, right now, I don't see them doing anything better than like any of the Sentai Mecha. Because now that Sentai Mecha have articulation, that puts a leg up on pretty much like most Power Rangers stuff, to be honest.
Because most the story was like that one of the Bandai, was it Plex or Bandai, one of the two people, like they got their child asked like, "Hey Dad, why does the Bandai Pixel have possibilities?"
That was the Plex designers, yeah. The Plex, the lead Plex designer for Onitajin had his kid was like, "Why doesn't your robots move like these?" And was like pointing at like Takaro's robots, and then he was like, "Oh, ooh, we should fix that."
It's like it took them 20 years to have a kid to then tell them they were doing it wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, because I imagine it's more that, and then like them seeing Hasbro's like, "Oh shit, we should do what they're doing," kind of scenario. Because,
also, the tagline for the combination system is "Craft Action."
Because I think it's more of that scenario. Because the same time Kira Major's Mech came out was the Takaro's Earth Granner toys, who were like around the same price. They have so much possibility. So like I feel like Bandai saw how much Takaro was kicking him in the sales. So like they got like, all right, we'll just go full ham. Let's actually make a possible Mech. Because I think at this point they know that people will pay any price to get these things.
Me and Demon Wolf said this last night when we were watching the video, that the inconsistency of articulation in Mecha since like Gal Ranger onwards has been one of the most discouraging thing about Sentai, because they were literally just slapping you in the face. They'd give you articulation one year, then take it away, then give it back, then only give half of that.
You guys remember when O-Ranger Robo had fully articulated arms?
Articulated elbows,
never happened again.
Then Power Ranger, yeah.
Like you didn't get it till Gal Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
I think it feels like that Bandai decides let's stop with the gimmicks and just give people what they want, a good mecha robot design.
The gimmick should just be like alternate limbs or combining together, like making like one.
The gimmick should just be combining robot. You don't need to have anything beyond that.
Like with Zenkaiger, I think the Zenkai like mechas are great in terms of the design, the playability, because the whole symmetrical docking system. But then they said to add license sounds to them, and it does make them bricks.
And that's also just literally just taking an idea from Brave. It's not like they came up with something new there.
Yeah. And and like I mean, multiple companies show they can still do that design but also get imposability at the same time. It just definitely a sound box and damn ruins everything. So like it's nice to see that Bandai is like, all right, let's stop with the gimmicks and just give what people want, a good combining role with posability. I mean, because I'm looking at this,
the only thing I'm worried about is stability, because I know Onitajin was pretty stable for the most part, but. How is this going to hold up? It's not so much when this comes out, but how is this going to hold up in 5 years?
Watching the demo, it looked like it got loose real fast, because like the guy was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Should I go grab the Nurse Desi?
I mean,
I feel like this is
grab your Go Buster.
How limp
I'm going to go grab the
thing
Nurse
is.
Desi. You guys can share. Let me just turn my video off. I'm going to go grab something because it's a good example of Bandai robots. I will be right back.
It's super limp. Let's just say it's super limp. His Nurse Desi's a little limp. It can't
I
hold
mean,
its
like,
own weight. The joints are just god awful.
well, because I forget. No, the camera was a separate accessory for that thing. So it was for it, right?
Yeah, the camera was
Or
a
was
separate
it?
headpiece that you had to get all together.
Yeah, because the base Nurse Desi doesn't come with it.
The
Which,
base itself
which
is just the basic Nurse Desi with a basic dragon head, and then it just goes wibble wobble wibble wobble.
because like does it use
We must
ratchets or
wobble.
does it
You don't
use
fall down.
or does it use friction for
It has
transformation?
it has I think ratcheted joints.
Okay, here's the Nurse Desi. So I got this in recently, and this I got it brand new. So
Remember to switch. Remember to switch. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I got this brand new, but essentially the Nurse Desi from Ultraman Trigger, which is the ship that they also use in Decker, which is why I bought it, because I love Decker. This transforms just by unfolding on like several ratchet joints. Okay.
Remember the Dragon Force vehicle from Ninja Storm? It's practically that.
It's basically that. Anyways, so you have this, and then we're gonna plug the legs on. I want to make sure this is done properly. Is it there? Yeah. Okay. So the Nurse Desi as a toy is pretty fun. I said this on Twitter when I posted about it. It's pretty fun for the $46 I paid for it because it's super long, right, in Dragon Mode. Here's the fun part, guys. It's called when you try to just hold it. If you guys can tell, it's fine if it's sitting, but the main like center part where the electronic box is just does. So let's see. It's like let me actually pose it here. Not to mention it doesn't pose side to side like it does in the show, but this is my
you
constant
can recreate the
thing.
Die You can recreate the Die Ranger intro.
Yeah, the thing is like this. You can't even feel the ratchet on. So the thing is, I see similar style ratchet joints in the knees of KingOhger, but I'm just thinking about how this thing, if you're trying to play with it, if you set it on a table, where you have to have that much space to set it on a table, which is why I leave it in ship mode, it's fine. It's totally not going to go anywhere, because the actual like head and tail are great. It's just the part in the middle where you think you'd pick it up, or the part where you push it for the sounds. It's the part that just doesn't hold, because it's got all the weight on either side. So, yeah, it's kind of not the most stable thing. And so I wonder, maybe this mecha will, because this mecha, is expensive, right? This thing also retailed for like 8,500 yen or something, so it wasn't cheap. But the thing that surprised me is how weak the center ratchets are. Because this one, the reason why is because, if I keep making the sounds, the one that holds the neck, it will ratchet like this. God, stop pressing the button. It'll stop because there's a stopper here with the design, but it's the one with the tail that just flops because there's nothing stopping it. But this one flops just as bad. It just has a stopper, but then that causes... Yeah, anyways, the point is that playing around with this, I see Bandai using ratchet joints for a mecha-like toy, and it doesn't really hold the way that you think it would for being as expensive as it is. Which I got it way cheap, but like, it's probably why I got it way cheap, because it's not the sturdiest
it went clear really fast.
Just feed the Nurse Desi some Blue Chew. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I was gonna make that joke earlier, and I decided not to. And then you were like, "I'm gonna grab this ball, and I'm gonna run with it."
Well, yeah, because I mean, Conrad and Jarrett were talking about it last night. So,
Conrad and every guest.
Exactly.
Also, maybe you guys saw the tail pops off easy.
Looking at KingOhger, he's not like a very bulky design, so like I imagine the weight distribution is not gonna be too bad on it.
I'm hoping. This is why I'm not gonna buy this thing like day one. But if it does turn out, to have like decent enough stability that it holds together on a shelf, that's the other thing too with the Nurse Desi. Like I'm leaving it in a ship mode because it's just way more economic. But like I set this on a table, It's fine. You know what? I probably could tighten those ratchet joints because they all have screws on the back. But anyways, good example out of the box. But anyways, this thing sits on a table. If I want to sit it on dragon mode, it's fine. That's my concern with the taller robots. They're going to just tip over because they can't hold their weight. That's what I'm
anything
asking.
else to say? Anything else to say about the KingOhger?
I'm pretty done on KingOger. You guys done with KingOger?
Well, yeah, because KingOger is done with KingOger.
Yep.
I think we said everything we need to say about it.
All right, let's talk Power Rangers leaks because there was a few of them. There's a live stream tomorrow, but hey guys, Mesogog's out in Singapore.
He's so good. He's like the first.
It's almost like the real reason Transformer leaks are happening is just because of Singapore rather than China.
Yep. This was literally bought in a store in Singapore. The mouth opens, which I think is great. Love that. He's got an articulated mouth to him, and he comes with a couple effect parts. And I gotta say, I gotta say this. I know people are like, "Oh my god, he looks just like Mesogog." I don't agree. I think he looks just like Mesogog from Legacy Wars.
He is Legacy Wars Mesogog.
What's the major? It's been a bit. It's been a bit since take a look at the show versus the let's say the Legacy Wars model. Is there any major differences?
The biggest thing is the head and hands are a lot larger. Like the upper torso is big compared to the legs. Because he was really slender in the show, so he's bulked out, and that's exactly how the Legacy Wars model looks. But I will counter with, there are no good images of Mesogog on the Ranger Wiki to work off of. This is the only source they probably could have. Because there's no promo images of Mesogog. There's not a single one.
Yeah, they didn't really do a lot of promotional images of Mesogog at all, and if there are any, there's probably test photos that no one's ever shown to the public.
Yep, I couldn't find a single promo image for Mesogog. The Ranger Wiki has blurry screenshots because that's all we got.
And you can tell they also went with Legacy Wars because they used a lot brighter colors than his actual suit.
Yeah, he has a lot more murkier colors. I remember that.
Which I don't really hate it, but he does kind of look like he's a Star Wars character now because of the the weird grays or beige or whatever you'd want to say that is. I don't know.
Also like Mesogog was in 9% darkness in Dino Thunder, like a lot. His lab was barely lit, so I imagine it was really hard to take a good look of his costume. Like it's such like a 360. There probably is like shots where you see the 360 view on him.
Yeah. But to get enough detail to sculpt a figure, there's definitely not enough clarity.
I think it looks perfectly fine though against Dino Thunder White, just having a little bit taller. I know in the show I think Dino Thunder White was actually taller than him, but you know what? I'm okay with this change.
I'm cool with it. Honestly, and I was thinking about this too because I was like, man, this is the Legacy Wars and just looks spot on. God, I mean, I wish the whole line just did Legacy Wars models style. It had a unified look instead of trying to be photorealistic, but just more in line with some of this stuff because it looks better.
That was the Legacy line. Because I'm convinced the Legacy line also used Legacy Wars as a reference. They had the same kind of triangle body shape, superhero buck. And with the Legacy Wars models, they're not super buff, but they're nicely they're definitely more heroic.
I definitely think the Rita was based on the Legacy Wars, the Lightning Collection one, because that face is that's such the Legacy Wars.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot cartoon. Especially compared to the other quote unquote photo real heads, it's the most cartoony looking one of all of them.
I like this. I'm on board for Mesogog. I just hope he doesn't have terrible quality control.
Yeah, I mean,
he will.
Thankfully for the Singapore releases, nothing bad so far. By the looks of it, I really hope it turns because this is the one I want the most.
Two or three people have already gotten it. It seems fine. So.
The best part. I'm gonna go grab dinner, so I'll miss this rant.
All right, so this is a meme I saw.
Yeah, but you're the Lost Galaxy guy, so I'm curious.
All right,
what you think about this?
I've been putting. All right, everybody ready for me to rant?
Yes, you're the Lost Galaxy guy.
I don't mean to, but okay. So GameStop Italy posted pictures of Lost Galaxy Yellow. This is my favorite team of Power Rangers. I want everyone to know this is my favorite team. I love them.
The theme song. Is that like the theme songs?
It's not like the theme songs in 90% of my videos. Unrecognizable because copyright. But I love Lost Galaxy deeply. Favorite season. Favorite team. All right. So, God dang it, Hasbro. All right. So, let's recap for those who don't know. GameStop Italy posted pictures, and actually, sorry, posted pre-orders for Lost Galaxy Yellow's Lightning Collection figure, which is apparently exclusive to GameStop or something. But okay, so first of all, you'll notice that she has double jointed elbows, but still has the old visible
Pin legs.
The visible pins on the knees, not visible pins on the elbows.
Why that's same with Mexicog also, apparently.
Yeah, it's the same with Mexicog, but Mexicog is a fully new mold. Whereas this is reusing half a bot. It's a weird half and half. I don't like it because those legs suck. The knees are really bad. They warp easily, and the feet are terrible. I don't want those legs. I wanted new legs. But
I want new legs.
Yeah. Anyways,
I've been saying that for years.
I was like, Wheels, where are you?
Yep.
She comes with the specific like pose hand. Cool. She comes with the stupid Quasar launcher. And she comes with the short dagger, and that's it.
No extended Quasar saber.
Yeah, looking through all the photos, including the listing, we do not see the extended Quasar saber at all. Here's the thing. I don't usually get like hung up about weapons on Power Rangers figures. But oh my god, this is the one season where everyone needs to have the same weapon.
It's not like the plot point.
The importance of the Quasar saber is it is a symbolic representation of 5 people all pulling the King Arthur sword in the stone Excalibur bit. Like, Arthur was able to pull Excalibur from the stone because he was worthy. These 5 people were worthy of the powers, and they pulled the swords from the stones. It is an Arthurian legend connection that brings the knight theme that they actually added into it. And they don't, like, the thing is, of any team, I really don't care about the accessory loadouts, and they're not consistent with some of them, like, whatever. And when they released Leo with the Quasar launcher instead of a full Quasar saber, I was like, okay, fine, we got the 2-pack, this is different, okay. But, like, this is the one season where everybody needs to have a shared accessory, and it's not the short, holstered Quasar saber. It's the full-size one. That is the thing that should be the priority. That is the thing that they should put in first, and the budget should revolve around that accessory being included over the civilian head, over the hands, over the everything else. That sword has to be in there. And the thing is that I thought we solved this problem. I thought after Lost Galaxy Red, where we had the launcher but no sword, but I was like, all right, fine, 2-pack. But then the next one, Blue didn't have the launcher. He had a trans dagger, so there was room in the budget for the sword. And Green has the sword. And then we already know from the silhouette as well as the accessory leak. Where's the picture? The accessory leak that Kendrix is going to come with the bow of the trans dagger and her Quasar saber. Everybody else is fine, except now we're stuck with, Maya doesn't get her Quasar saber. And of everybody that should have a Quasar saber, it's the lady that comes from the planet where the sabers originate.
What's even weirder? I find it so weird because the Quasar
Anyways,
saber
that's my rant. My rant is that this figure, like, I won't finish the rant and then we can talk about it. I legitimately have considered dropping Lightning Collection over this. Because this is my favorite team, and this is the one thing I needed them to do. It's the simplest thing. It doesn't require any new tooling. It just requires packing it in and painting it with a different symbol, which they're capable of doing because it's in the short version. I don't know if I want to keep buying Rangers. I think I'm considering dropping it all and just buying villains because the only thing they can actually accomplish. And it's so annoying. It's like, let me switch cameras. I'm going to be nice, but it's like this Darth Maul figure I got, except instead of him coming with his double blade lightsaber, it just came with not the hilt from Phantom Menace that he kept. No, just the Shadow Syndicate saber. And it's like, okay, he just comes with half his saber, but it's not the half that's the good part that you know him for. And then you're like, well, how do I get the other one? Oh, you just go buy the other Darth Maul. Like, no, I don't want to buy extra. And the thing is, the solution that people have provided me, which is great, is to just buy another one because Blue goes on sale a lot. But I don't want to do that. I want it to just be done right the first time. Like, this shouldn't be that hard on a $25 figure. And it bugs me to my core that I thought we got past this problem and we didn't. And I just lost Darth Maul's saber because it fell out of my hand.
It's even super when some people go like, oh, they do like the Zeo Tonfa situation to play the army builder. That has its own problems. Why do you want an army build? You have hundreds of Quasar sabers. What are you gonna do with them now?
That's exactly the problem. I don't want the thing is, put the Quasar launcher with a frickin' army builder if you want. Like, don't put the dang Quasar's like saber. The saber is important. Anyways, I'm ranting, but like
it's even weird because the Quasar
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop yelling about this, but this is legitimately bothered me. And there is a less than zero chance that tomorrow's live stream they show it and it actually has the Quasar saber, and somehow every promotional images and the description don't mention it. But I'm not confident at this point.
It's even weirder because the Quasar saber mold's not even that big. It's like the thinnest sword of the line.
Oh, that's the thing too. The Quasar saber mold sucks. It's not the right scale. The handle's too thin. But you know what? If they all have it, it works. It looks good.
Because it's literally a flat piece of. It's literally it's a flat saber. It's not even like a full like thick sword.
Nope.
Which is not accurate to the prop, but like still like it's weird that.
And this is what I mean by I'm not asking for the world. I'm just asking for the bare minimum.
It's weird that they can't include a very thin sheet of plastic into the budget, like.
And I think the reason why is because, and I mentioned this with the Lost Galaxy Red, the Quasar launcher.
It's so big.
Is huge. It takes a lot of plastic, but more specifically, let me see if I can find the image of her holding it. The problem with the Quasar launcher is all that paint. It is a lot of paint. And I said this about Reds. It's the best Lightning Collection accessory ever. It's the right scale. It looks right. It functions correctly. It painted correctly, and I hate it because they're opting to put this in place of a Quasar saber. And I don't get it. I don't get what the reasoning is. You know, I thought about it. Maybe the designer for yellow here was the designer for red with the launcher, and that was what they thought was more important. And I asked the question: Is it up to the designer? I understand artistic interpretation, but is there not somebody that is going, "Hey, all the others came with this. Why is this one coming with this?"
I mean,
and that's my problem, is I can't understand the business decisions. And I want to love this line. It should be my favorite toy line ever. And it's not, because I just keep finding holes in it that seem easy to fix.
I mean, if it shows anything, it really does show that the people making these toys don't watch the seasons they're from, kind of scenario.
Which, I mean, people want to, like, crap on Super 7 for, like, the way the faces look or whatnot. But I know for a fact that people designing those figures watch the episodes over and over and over again to see if they can match details or figure out accessories to put in. Like, they're not just winging it, which is what feels like what happens with the Lightning Collection with the Rangers. The villains always get this, like, really great love and detail put into them. But when it comes to the Rangers, which should be easy, just repacking stuff consistently or painting stuff consistently, and it's just all out of whack, and I don't get it.
I mean, really should, because the monster figures, I imagine, is a lot more fun to make than just the Ranger suits.
Oh, totally.
Because...
But the Rangers are cut and paste. Why are they the ones that are getting screwed up? The Rangers should be the easy part. They should be the easy part.
Especially, it's so weird because Power Rangers Sentai such is all based on teamwork and team synergy and all that. So that's the core theme of both shows. And none of the figures don't share that synergy to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so baffling, and like specifically like with Lost Galaxy, and I felt like the Quasar launchers were the most important sidearm. Like I feel like they used the Transdagger more than the Quasar launcher. Like
they use the Transdaggers way more.
If this was like Lightspeed Rescue and they came with the V launcher? What do they call the
V Lancers?
V Lancers. Yeah. That makes more sense because the V Lancers were used a lot in Lightspeed. Like they're in the intro. That's the first thing you see in the intro.
I think every Lightspeed Ranger should come with a V Lancer and the blaster form of the sidearm, and that's at minimum. Those should be the two accessories. Everything else is secondary to that, because those are the two things they use the most.
I mean, like for God's sakes, like the V Lancer stuff thing you see in the intro when it's the Ranger Splash.
Yep.
So it's like very iconic to the season. But
I
like,
will also add to this discussion. Just this. The thing is, like SPD's accessories match sequentially, whereas I don't get why like Lost Galaxy can't get that treatment.
Down charge, Pink gets her sidearm. Logically, it doesn't make sense. That's not the right form she should have her drill.
Yeah, she should. Like the thing is, like Dino Charge Pink should have had the sword instead of the drill, but at least she has the blaster, which is the thing they use together the most.
Oh yeah, imagine one of the Dino Charge Rangers came with their morpher.
Yeah,
kind of scenario, pretty much. That'll be the same thing as that's exactly
the same thing. It's like SSJ4 Jason mentioned Samurai. Like if they don't all come with the spin sword, what are they even doing? Because like the thing is that there's certain weapons that are iconic to these characters, and in Lost Galaxy in particular, the weapon is how the story exists. It's thematically core to the story. Leo not coming with his is even more important. Like, it is even more dumb on the single release because Leo has the struggle of do I deserve this sword? I didn't pull it out from the stone. My brother did. And
that's literally his character arc.
Yeah, that's literally his character arc. And so my problem is that we're on the last Lost Galaxy figure, right? Because we already know Kendricks is coming. We know Kendricks is good accessory-wise, right?
At least last Lost Galaxy Ranger.
The last Ranger for Lost Galaxy. Like, just why could they not just give her the Quasar Saber?
And I see some people go like, "Oh, Lights of Orion mode." The Lights of Orion.
That's a different Quasar Saber. They have an extra guard attached to it. Yeah. I would buy the Lights of Orion armors, but are one going to come with the extended claw? Some are going to come with the short claw. Some are going to come with like how consistent can those be? Those should have all the same accessories, but now I don't know if they know. Some will come with the launcher, some will come with the claw, some will come with the sword. Like, I'm not asking for the world here. I'm just like, it's just frustrating that I was thinking to myself, and the reason why this is a flash forward to the Lightning Collection rundown. I skipped a bunch of figures not because I wanted to, but because I just couldn't afford it, and this was the easiest line to drop down the priority list because it just sits around more. Like I couldn't skip Star Wars figures because those get stupid. I had to get Marvel figures because
G.I. Joe, like they're actually good toys.
G.I. Joe are the best toys, so I actually want to have them. Lightning Collection, I was going to get Wave 12 when I could, and I'm not going to get it in time for the video because it's just too much stuff is coming out. Like the Yu Yu Hakusho Blu-ray just charged on my account today. So the thing is that Lightning Collection keeps getting pushed down because the figures aren't good enough and exciting enough to feel worth full price. And I was going to be like, okay, I thought about keeping Lost Galaxy Green. Then it was like, oh, I either keep Lost Galaxy Green or I get a Transformer. And Transformers evaporate once their wave isn't current anymore. So I was like,
that's why, like, every time I see a Transformers figure, I snatch it up right away because I know that I'm not gonna see it again.
Transformers and Star Wars. Star Wars is in particular really bad. If I don't get them, like I with Star Wars, I have to pre-order them because I am missing 2/5 of my Bad Batch because I didn't get the first release. I was like, oh, I'll just get them later, and there was no later. They sold out. There was no stocking in stores. They put up a reissue and then canceled it a year later, and that was it. I don't have 2/5 of my Bad Batch. So when there's a Star Wars figure I want, regardless if I think it's good, because honestly most Black Series are kind of meh. But like, Darth Maul went up, and I ordered him the second he went up, and then when his pre-order came out 2 months early, I was like, I'm not getting rid of him. I have, if I don't get him now, I may not be able to. With Lightning Collection, I know they'll sit around, and the line's not exciting me enough to have to jump at it. Like I can wait. But the thing I was going to do was I was going to keep Lost Galaxy Green, and then coming up to last week, I was like, oh, I'm going to order Lost Galaxy Green now because I know Pink's coming. I should at least focus on my main team. And so I was going to order Lost Galaxy Green. Then Transformers Evolution Breakdown moved up. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that because I got to get Breakdown. And then this happened. And then this made me go, do I even want to buy Green now? Do I even want to buy anybody else from the teams? Like, it's just making me reconsider everything because not just because the lack of the Quasar Saber bugs me, but because it's not just that. It's the fact that we're on the 5th year of the line now, and we have the same problems we had day one.
And yeah, here's the thing: it's like people complain, people complain, oh,
Yeah.
when are we gonna get blank season? When are we gonna get to this season? That's not the problem with the Lightning Collection at all, because we know they're
Yeah.
gonna get to that season.
They'll get
That's
to
not
it
the
eventually,
problem.
but the question is, are you going to be able to have a consistent display? Because I don't know. You know, it's like if some Jedi in Black Series didn't have their lightsabers. That's how the Lost Galaxy team feels right now, and that's insane. Like that'd be insane if like Darth Maul only came with the hilt and not the blade or something.
Imagine Fantastic Four team, but they're all in different suits, era of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, there are certain teams that have to be consistent. The Fantastic Four, when they released at Walgreens, 4 different releases across a year, and they were all consistent. They put the Modern Wave out, they were consistent. They put the blue and white costumes out, they were consistent. Like that was it, and I was like, it's like, oh, that was so easily done. They all look like they go together. Adding to Star Wars, Black Series has been around for 10 years now. They have problems now, but they're not the same problems that happened at the beginning of the line.
Imagine for your clone troopers that oh, your Rex is phase 1, but but the only Cody available is phase 2.
That happened.
But this in the next one, oh, but still,
wait, no, it didn't. No, sorry, they've only done phase 2 Rex and only phase 2 Cody.
But still, in this a hypothetical scenario where it's like you want to have a complete.
Yep.
I want specifically phase 1 era clone troopers. Oh, this one's phase 1. This one's phase 2. This one's phase 1. This one's phase 2. Like that's
there is a problem in Star Wars where it's like a lack of compatibility. Or Star Wars' biggest problem now, like it used to not be an issue, but the biggest problem with Black Series right now is reuse. Where like Ahsoka for Clone Wars reused the body of Ahsoka from Rebels, so the Clone Wars one's too tall.
Oops.
and there's issues like that. Ayla Secura is reusing the legs from Padme. I haven't opened her yet. I don't know if that's a problem, but when it comes to other Hasbro lines, I think Star Wars Black Series is the worst Hasbro line at the moment because the character selection is stupid. The thing is, the characters pretty much Black Series is pretty much only Disney Plus stuff, except it comes out a year after the Disney Plus stuff airs.
Like imagine if the Ghost for Plasma series, like oh, Rey and Stan are Ghostbusters 1 uniform, but Egon and Rey are Ghostbusters 2 uniforms. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, and the Inquisitors for Star Wars, they went with the Obi-Wan versions for all of them. They didn't do animated Grand Inquisitor, animated Fifth Brother. They did the live action ones across the board. Consistency. When you have teams like the Guardians of the Galaxy, they match no matter how many times they made them. And so the fact that Power Rangers can't pull that off and that's their whole deal is annoying. It's really annoying. The last thing I do want to say for Lightning Collection, because I know we're over time, there's a new image of SPD Yellow, and she's got her roll call specific hand, but still has her backwards morpher.
Oops.
I can't believe that the morpher's painted 6 different ways.
I'm just surprised. It's like, did they not use the same CAD model?
No, I don't think they do. I don't think they do.
That's so baffling. I never heard of it.
And then lastly, here's the leak of the remastered Blue Ranger, which this is the full accessory loadout. He's got 2 extra sets of hands, flame effects, both versions of the lances, a new helmet that looks like the metallic version, a separate morpher, all 3 blade blasters, and the glasses. And like I mentioned earlier, I probably will get this for the glasses because
I'll say
my Indiana Jones needs his glasses.
It does look really nice. I'll say that.
Yep, it does look good. I think this is great, and there's a dark little part of me, very, very simple dark little part of me, that just says, if I was in charge, if I had, sometimes people ask me this, what would you do to change the Lightning Collection, right? And this is my answer now. I have a new answer. I would cancel every Lightning Collection figure that's coming up, that's in the base $25 price point. And I would make everything like the remaster. $34, you get everything. That's my new answer now. This looks great, and I know that those flame effects may not come with everybody, because Billy doesn't have as much as some others. But even if they do come with everybody, that's great for consistency. But what I'm looking at right here is a fully featured figure that I would pay the extra $8 to get this on every. I realize I'm not showing this on the big screen. I still not good at this. I would pay an extra $8 per figure if every figure was decked out like this.
Here's the thing, though.
Because I would like that. Now, economically, that doesn't make any sense because this is too much for the average consumer, and that's just going to be a problem. And that I know why the $25 price point exists. But for me personally, this is better because, and maybe some Rangers can be $25, but I think that's the problem, right? Some of them SPD $25 normal price point, fine, it works. Everybody comes with the things they should have. Even if the morphers are all messed up, they have the accessories. But Rangers like Lost Galaxy or Lightspeed or Time Force that have a ton of weapons.
Too many. They have too many weapons.
Do this. You know what? Preferably, don't even do Lightspeed as a mainline thing. Do Lightspeed as a deluxe line. Just
I said that to Zaltrax just the other day. Is that teams need to be more deluxes for the ones that actually benefit the teams.
There's a reason why, Lucitarian's deluxe figure.
Yeah. Paint, accessories, unique molding. You know, if the thing is that Marvel Legends will do this, where they'll have a higher price point, and theirs is getting insane. Where it's like, oh look, Blob's $55, but Blob's also huge in a unique mold. With Power Rangers, I would prefer more like this if we got accessories for some of these teams, and that's the thing. And you know, I also I see a lot of people mentioning 5-packs. I think the 5-pack idea is great. Because some of these teams do not need to be split up, single figure across 3 or 4 years.
You know what? They're not popular enough. I got a crazy idea.
Yeah.
So here's a crazy idea: Ninja Storm,
3-pack, 2-pack,
1 deluxe, 2-pack, and a 3-pack.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then a deluxe battleizer.
Yeah, because you can put all the accessories in if you do like a 2-pack of the Thunder Rangers.
When Ninja Pack, Thunder Ranger Pack, Deluxe Green Samurai, they could do both modes.
And then battleizer as a deluxe. I also think that for Mighty Morphin, deluxes are fine because they have all of their weapons, their variants.
The Blade Blasters do a lot of
the Blade Blasters. We finally have all the options as long as they're able to be held by their figures now.
They have all their major sets. Like, of course, they don't have like the Thunder Slinger, but who cares?
Who cares about the Thunder Slingers?
That's one of those things of I like the accessory. It looks nice. It looks cool. But the problem is the Power Rangers footage was limited to maybe like 2 episodes versus the 6 appearances they had in the Zhu Rangers appearances.
And it was still weird when the figure arts included only the Thunder Slingers. That was bizarre. Where they're like, the one Blade Blaster version we're going to give you, the Thunder Slinger combo. And it's like, what?
I think because in Japan, the combination guns are like very popular as toys back in the day. Because that also happened with Jetman. They didn't release the guns, and a lot of people wanted the gun combinations because stuff like that is cool. It's like with Zeo, I actually like when you put the king stick with the pistol together. That's one of my favorite weapon accessories. Even as a toy, as a little kid, I remember like my mom bought me the power cannon. Most of the time, I didn't even play with the main Ranger weapons. I was playing with the gun, and I got freaking salty when I was like 14 years old and found out through videos on freaking like the internet that the original toy had lights and sounds. I was like, what? Yep. What is this?
Adding to that, accessory packs, because I see the chat's mentioning accessory packs. Those are great. I love accessory packs. I think every toy line should have accessory packs.
Hasbro's like the one.
Hasbro does not like accessory packs. It's a corporate thing.
No, they do for Fortnite, but that's it.
But those are also sold as blind box items.
Yeah, but still, that like
the thing. I was about to ask about that.
Yeah, the Fortnite's the only one that gets to do it. The thing with accessory packs is that the corporate people don't understand them. They don't understand accessory packs. And
they think that the only way you can get them is through putting in a figure.
Yep.
That's why we did it with Transformers.
Yeah, Transformers, both times we got accessory packs with a figure exclusive to Pulse. Marvel's never done an accessory pack because it doesn't. You can't do an accessory pack for Marvel because it's just too split up. For something like Power Rangers, they would have to include a figure most likely. And then the closest we got to an accessory pack was when they did the Jason 2-pack for Comic-Con, and then he came with the whole power cannon, right? And that, as I've come to realize, because we were talking to when Wheels and I interviewed Cal Wodiga from Super 7, he talked about how like
wait, we interviewed somebody. I didn't know we do that.
Yeah, we do. It's like
oh my god, that's crazy.
It's our
check
cool,
out
Hero-club.com. But anyways, when we interviewed Kyle Wodiga, he talked about to pitching the factory the power cannon, like the combination. Like he was basically talking about how like they had to design it, but then they didn't have the physical tooling for each part of it. But then the factory had to know, like, oh, this peg needs to be this size, so that way it all combines at the end. And I realized that Hasbro just molded the power cannon up front for that Jason set, and then they had the tooling to do the rest of the Mighty Morphin team on it without having to confuse the factory or make sure it didn't work. And maybe some of these combined weapons that we haven't gotten just do stuff, like here, just put the whole team cannon for Time Force in with, I don't know, Quantum or whatever. But like, something where you get a figure and then you get an accessory with the figure. And that accessory could be reused later for budget.
That requires Hasbro to actually care. That requires Hasbro to care about the other seasons.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is that like, it's like, is there a lack of care or are they just chasing sales data? Because I think it's just chasing sales data. Because honestly, I'm going to be honest. And this comes from a guy who loves the other seasons. The other seasons don't sell. For whatever reason, Mighty Morphin is pretty much Mighty Morphin is the only thing that moves merchandise.
Because it's nostalgia. Because nostalgia land.
It's not just nostalgia land because we're hitting a nostalgia point. Like what is it? In Space is hitting 25 years or 25 years this year, right?
It's just Mighty Morphin's the one they every other company keeps pushing.
They keep pushing Mighty Morphin because the only thing that's been shown to sell, and the fault of that is not Hasbro nor other companies, it's Saban. Because Saban pushed Mighty Morphin as the only thing that existed when they came back to do Samurai. And when they did Megaforce, it was like, if you guys think about it, Megaforce, for the 20th anniversary, what was the stuff we saw from Bandai that came out for that anniversary? Mighty Morphin, and then some of those figures.
And one cancel Lost Galaxy Red.
Yeah, and then Super Megaforce had the Red Rangers, but that was part of like the whole mural artwork they kept promoting. But they pushed Mighty Morphin harder and faster than anybody else. And the thing is that there's other seasons that have hit saturation points of nostalgia, right? Like we're at 30 years for Mighty Morphin season 1, but we're at the point with like Zeo's up there in age now, Turbo, In Space, Lost Galaxy, like they're all over 20 years old. They should be hitting their nostalgia points, and I think, and you know what, I just Muteki T brought up the remastered Mighty Morphin. That also, I think, it sort of restarted Mighty Morphin nostalgia, as opposed to the nostalgia for Power Rangers continuing year to year. It restarted with Mighty Morphin 2010.
Think about all the think back to 2010 YouTube. Mm-hmm. Think about how many non-Power Ranger channels pick up that 2010 Megazord, for example.
Yep, and that toy line, because Bandai was like, let's do this toy line. Disney was like, let's recycle this footage. Saban was like, I'm buying the brand back. But the thing is that we had a whole year. 2010 was an entire year where the only Power Rangers was Mighty Morphin. People talk about now, it's like, oh, they only do Mighty Morphin. They only do Mighty Morphin. We get other stuff. 2010, though, 2010 was only Mighty Morphin and nothing else. And that also, yeah, like you said, how many people picked up that Megazord off nostalgia? And then also, how many kids were like Power Rangers age when 2010 aired that maybe now are looking to buy Power Rangers toys, but their Power Rangers is the Mighty Morphin 2010 remaster? Think about that scary thought.
Because there's
a group of them.
Scary thought that you're forgetting is that for some reason there's a high for some reason percentage of people that grew up with Mighty Morphin, right? Mm-hmm. And then they just stopped for some reason. They just cut cold turkey. They're like, I don't like Zeo.
Well,
I don't believe they really did. I think they dropped Mighty Morphin in season 2.
Yeah, but I was saying,
no, because it's funny because I see always like people who like collect. And they say they dropped Power Rangers like right around the movie and onwards. Like
I don't believe it. I think they dropped around the time of White Ranger.
Wheels. I
That's
literally
true
seen.
too. I think that's also a possibility. But a lot of people I follow are like after like 2 or 3, they were done.
No, I literally seen YouTubers that said, "Oh, I dropped the show once. Either Jason got demoted to second
I've seen those too.
or when he left, or when Jason left the show. Like Jason Dean fanboys. Someone specifically, I know this.
Yeah, no, I've seen Jason fanboys, but I've seen like people who at least have said they've got like they're like, oh, I collect the Shogun Megazord, and someone was like, I was pissed that they didn't make it for the Legacy. Some people just for some reason just dipped when Zeo came.
Which is weird because the cliffhanger, with the whole cliffhanger.
Yeah, some people just dipped on Zeo. Some people just dipped on right around the movie, and it's just like for some reason season 3 is middle of season 2, late season 3 is like the catalyst for people for jumping off, which is hilarious because there's so many better seasons out there.
I mean, there's also people that keep like anybody that says Mighty Morphin season 1 is the best season of the show has not seen enough other seasons. Because
season 2 or season 3.
Yeah, season 3 I think is still the best season of Mighty Morphin cohesively. Because 2 has all the cast shakeup problems. But I gotta say that like that is an issue. And the thing is, I wanted to read Brian said it's like they're rewarding all the people who left. It's like that, or in another term, they're trying to get back the people that left that are never going to care again. They're targeting an audience. Care about anything else. They're targeting an audience who only cares about Mighty Morphin and will only care about Mighty Morphin. Yeah, they're not going to come back. They're not going to start watching whatever's current because you're catering to the Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, I literally seen like I seen collection videos of like people who people who grew up in the 90s, and they have like a bunch of Marvel Legends. They have like a bunch of Marvel Legends of various degrees of like MCU and comics, but then they get their Power Rangers second, all Mighty Morphin Lightning collection, for example, and specifically TV show. I don't see any comment because I don't think even people who are fans of Mighty Morphin care about the comics, for example.
Oh no, the fans of the comics are people that joined Power Rangers after Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, even though like,
but I understand the comics needing to keep Mighty Morphin as the focus because that is what has sold. When they've tried to split it off, like because I was looking at sales charts, Mighty Morphin sold better than Power Rangers when they were split, which is why I think they reformed.
How were the sales for Beyond the Grid?
This is
Beyond the Grid almost got the book canceled. Beyond the Grid almost got the whole comic canceled because of how bad it sold.
That photo
part of it's because it's a bad arc, but.
I was thinking of
that photo there is your typical Giga Chad MMPR fan
that only watches MMPR. Yep.
That's that right there. Put that photo on the screen for a little sound out. That photo right there is what they want and only want.
Should be in the chat now.
That's the photo they want. That's literally who they want. That's all they want. That's all they want and who they want.
Yep.
The people that will never come back, no matter how hard they try.
They just want this man. They just want that man specifically. That man.
And I think that was what Bandai's plan was, right? Was to target the nostalgia people, right? And I think that Hasbro's picked up on that only because nothing else has sold well. If you look at sales charts, Mighty Morphin sells, but and they don't really. I don't think they really want to look into it and decide. Here's the picture Wheels is talking about. I'll just put it in the corner.
They just want that man. That man right there. They want him to be their only consumer.
I find it weird because I feel like with other franchises, it doesn't feel as bad with other franchises compared to Power Rangers because I think of other like Transformers, Pokemon.
I love how LPH is loving it.
Yeah, it's true though. LPH he said it a bunch of times. He only cares about MMPR.
But still, we got we got Pokemon, Transformers, Digimon, and Ninja Turtles, where they also have very only adventure, only Generation 1, only Gen 1, only adventure.
But like they all grew out of it, right?
Or like it doesn't feel as bad as Power Rangers.
Because the thing is, like with Digimon, they were pushing only adventure for the longest time because they were advertising Digimon Adventure Try and then the reboot. But then as soon as the reboot was over, it was like, Tamer's anniversary, woo! Like, it just completely swifted. And now they're doing all kinds of stuff for Digimon. Like, we're getting, Frontier Premium Bandai merch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that I think Bandai was like, oh, can Tamer's stuff sell? Let's try it. Let's celebrate the anniversary of Tamer's. Let's put it out there. Transformers. 20th anniversary Armada. They're like, here, let's put out Starscream and Hotshot, and they're going to come out with Optimus Prime and Megatron. They're trying to capitalize on another anniversary that's not G1 or G1 movie. And I think that's the thing, is that you use an anniversary as a launching platform. And In Space does hit 25 years this year because it came out in 98 and this is 2023. So
even though we really know they finished that team.
Blue Baron mentioned Beast Wars. Yeah, they pumped a bunch of Beast Wars into Kingdom, and it reinvigorated the whole Transformers line sales-wise. It changed their whole idea of how they were doing Generations. And that lined up with an anniversary, too, I think.
Yeah, like, it's so weird
I think what the problem is that other lines have figured out what to do. Some have been a little late, and some have been just right on the right at the right time. With Power Rangers, Lightning Collection should have been that way before, like, we got to year 4. We should have had, like, early resurgences with Time. When they do the Time Force figures, Time Force should have been out quicker.
Yep. All of them should have been out quicker.
Beast
Morpher should not have taken 3 years to get the Core 3.
Yeah, we still have Silver to get. We need to get Silver.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. And someone said, well, we get your Armada trilogy nostalgia. There are the Armada guys, and then there's
Armada's
the
hit 20
Cybertron
years
guys.
this year, right?
Yeah.
Heck, I got Armada Starscream, and I was like, oh man, flashback.
Yeah, that's the thing,
you
is, like,
literally got Metroplex and Override and last year.
Yep.
For the
And
Cybertron.
I'm glad they haven't really touched on Energon yet, since Energon is divisive.
That's a
series
canon.
A lot
for-
more device. A lot more devices.
Energon's more divisive, and also Energon is harder to engineer on a modern scale because of the power linksing.
The whole gimmick.
Because if you take out the power linksing of the Energon figures, they're not good enough designs to be worth making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
the thing. Star Wars, right? Does Star Wars cater heavily in its merchandise to the original trilogy? Yes. I'm still holding a Black Series Clone Wars Darth Maul, though.
I see someone make a good point. Where Jason said for Dragon Ball, we're still getting GT toys still, for example.
Yeah, GT toys. I just remembered Star Wars for Vintage Collection and Black Series are doing the Clone Wars 20th anniversary.
Specifically Gendy Clone Wars, isn't it?
It's the Clone Wars event, like, because they had the multimedia event of Clone Wars, which was the comics, the books, the games, the Gendy show. They're doing 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars as a concept, essentially. And that is targeting not older Star Wars, but newer Star Wars, prequel era stuff. Star Wars has this problem of revolving around the original trilogy because narratively it does. This is a Star Wars unique problem, right? The prequels are prequels to the original trilogy. The sequels are sequels to the sequel trilogy. All the TV shows fill in gaps in between, but they all revolve around that because they're one timeline. Whereas Power Rangers is many timelines, many universes. Transformers is many universes. There's continuity refreshes for all of them. Star Wars is stuck because the original trilogy is the orbit where all the storytelling circles around. But even then, the Black Series has been mixing it up, doing new and old
stuff. I love how Blue Baron thinks it's fully Saban's fault. Like we said, it was actually Bandai America's fault.
Yeah.
And
it's
Disney.
both. I think it's both.
Saban, Bandai, Disney. Actually, honestly, the MMPR nostalgia anchor that the franchise has is not Hasbro's fault. They inherited it, and they're not doing anything to fix it either. That's the problem. Like I want them to celebrate an anniversary that's not Mighty Morphin's anniversary.
Y'all remember the good old? You guys all remember 2018? When people were going like, "Oh, mighty overlords of Hasbro, Godspeed thee! They will crush the evil Bandai."
No big corporation will ever be the savior of anything.
I just remember that when Hasbro got the license. Yeah.
God, I just remember every single Power Rangers YouTube saying, "Our Lord and Savior Hasbro," and I remember back in the day when that came out, I was like the weird one out. Everybody going like, "Really, guys? You're calling Hasbro the Lord and Savior?" Because I remember knew
the thing. It's literally and I just watched Everything Everywhere All at Once this weekend, and it's literally about this. The grass is always greener until you experience it.
Because
Soundout said the only thing good about them would we have good action figures, and they fucked that one up.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was like, we're going to at least get good action figures. the Indiana Jones line is off to a better start, and they have 6 Indiana Jones out of 13 figures. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's so funny. It's so funny, ironic that after Bandai lost the Power Rangers license, I feel like their figures just gotten better.
they have.
after they
Honestly,
lost the Power
I
Rangers
look at Anime Heroes, and I'm like, wow, Power Rangers could have been good.
They just
license.
didn't want to put the effort.
And there's
They're
also
dragging their
Saban
fo-
sabotaging them because Bandai could not afford to do 2 toy lines. They couldn't do Ninja Steel and the 2017 movie. So they had to split the
Yep.
budget for the year between 2 toy lines, and that screwed it all up.
Yep.
There's a couple good comments. Muteki T said, what about the Star Wars continuity doesn't exist, like the novels? The old extended universe that's not canon anymore still gets action figures. They've been making figures of Mara Jade or some of the old comic characters, new comic characters, old comic characters. The Black Series actually touches on non-canon stuff, which is weird, right?
Love Psycho O's comment.
Psycho O's comment's best. Hasbro did celebrate Wild Force's 20th, though, with 5 Lunar Wolf Ranger figures. You got me there.
And I still don't have any of one of them.
Yeah, God, how many did I end up with?
3.
Oh, you got a super chat.
Oh my God, we got a super chat for the first time on the live streams. Thank you, Red Ranger Christian.
I tried to get you one a couple weeks ago, but
yeah,
never let me.
Couch tried, but it wouldn't let him. Red Ranger Christian says, remember the Legacy Gold Ranger turning into butterscotch? Yes. Yes, I remember that was the first thing when we were like, yeah, Lightning Collection's better because they painted the gold. We were so naive.
We were so naive.
It was an improvement, but yeah, no, I honestly like.
Guys, they didn't just give us the gold; they gave us the OG as well in the retail line.
Yeah, no, I mean, actually, Bandai gave us the OG Gold Ranger because he didn't have a unmasked head.
Well, then none of it.
Well, anyways,
I like actually for Jason, Star Trek Universe is off to a great start with two from 3 series.
Yeah, that's the thing. They got 2 of the. God, how many? Yeah, no, they're Star Trek Universe. Yeah, is better off because they got 3. There's 4. They're actually 4 because you include the Prodigy stuff. There's 4 series represented off the bat. Instead of, going, hey, we got nothing. You know what I mean? Lightning Collection Cyclopsis. Blue Baron has a good idea.
I love how every time we talk about Power Rangers, it always extends the stream.
It always does. I knew this was going to happen. I think I was complaining to my parents about the Quasar Saber situation, and I was like, the worst part about it is my stream's going to be 4 hours long because of this. But on that note, we're done with topics. So if you guys want to do some
last-minute questions,
do some last-minute questions for the next 10 minutes or something. I'm willing to stay on. It's been a good stream.
Shout out for Red Ranger Christian.
Shout out for Red Ranger Christian. Appreciate the super chat. I really do. I do love Power Rangers. I know I complain about it more than I praise it, and it's just because of the current stuff. What am I going to complain? What am I going to praise?
We're all the old dysfunctional old men.
We're all CC Lemon and Shogo and Ivanhoe. It's great.
Yeah, honestly, this happened with Don Brothers, where someone's
Lemon.
like,
I drink that.
So, someone told me on Twitter, they're like, you've entered the tokusatsu old man phase of your life, and I was like, you know what, I'm okay with that.
I've been like this since, I don't know. When did the Zero movie come out? When did the Ultraman Zero movie come out?
2009?
2008 or 9.
Yeah, okay, so I've been like that even when I was in my teens. So hey.
All right, Red Raider Christian dropped another super chat.
Oh, that was an old man in 2012. You remember Club Penguin or Toontown? Club Penguin did collab with Star Wars and Marvel.
Okay, so
wait, did Jerry say that I stopped caring and then I die?
Yeah.
Then I stopped.
You mean because he's dead inside? All right, back to Club Penguin. Okay, so yes, I do. I played a bunch of Club Penguin back when it was hot. I don't know what that was, middle school, I guess.
2008, 2007.
The school computers never blocked it. So
God, you're a filthy child.
I know, but the school computers didn't block Club Penguin. They blocked pretty much everything else, and that's why we played it a lot. And then I didn't play Toontown because I never had a computer that could run it because its system requirements were really weird. And I did remember that Club Penguin did a Star Wars and Marvel collab. That was weird.
I remember I remember the Club Penguin card game as a kid.
There was a card game.
Yeah, based on the ninjutsu, the card-jutsu card game in the game.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. See, I was in and out of Club Penguin pretty quick. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't in there long, but
I was 8, so I ate it up as a kid.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my god. All right. So I gotta share an image because Psycho O's is master of Photoshop for the day, guys. I just want you to all know.
Oh no! What do you do?
Boom. Okay.
I got a tweet that my man last night.
Oh right, I should. Oh dang it! Hold on. I'm messing everything up.
You really should, and just don't forget to put hashtag Down Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. What were we talking about? I was zoning out trying to get this image up here.
Club Penguin.
Club Penguin Toontown. I think I had about that.
I got a funny story about
All right,
Club
there
Penguin.
You guys go.
Me and Jerry.
Oh boy,
were
yes, I was thinking of that
on Reddit or something, and someone said, "Can we please stop abbreviating Club Penguin to CP? The FBI keeps knocking on my door."
Same thing happened in the Cyberpunk fandom.
Oh yeah, that happened too. Yep.
Hold on. I saw Brian say, "Let's watch Los Luchadores on stream."
No.
Like I said earlier, I kind of want to preserve my childhood memory and the opening I watched with the talking chihuahua. Imagine. Oh my god! How could we do?
Nights before we'll ever watch.
You know what? How could we do a Los Luchadores?
Oh, we got a super chat from Remy Christian.
I just thought of something, guys. Maybe what we need to do is we need to get like all the Toku tubers together and do a massive charity stream. And it's all of us having to watch Los Luchadores and people donating to the stream. That would be something.
Reverend Kristen, right now.
What we'll do is we'll convince Josh to join us for that. We'll just get Josh. We get Josh and Mr. Cooper.
We could get a few people. If anyone knows anybody that's big in the Toku fandom,
we don't tell them we're watching Los.
We don't tell them it's Los Luchadores.
No, yeah, don't tell anybody. Just like we'll watch some old Saban show that people don't remember on a charity stream.
They're watching.
They'll think it's Mystic Knights or Beetleborgs, and we're like, got him.
This could be the planning of something. I kind of like this charity stream idea because I'm like, at least if we're going to go through pain, we should do it for charity. Anyways, Red Ranger Christian sent another super chat. Right now, in this time, is private servers Toontown rewritten. So it still lives, huh?
Yeah, that's a fan recreation of Toontown.
Oh,
by fans.
That would be.
But
that's crazy. I love when people do that. Like when they're like, "Oh, this online game shut down." They're like, "Surprise, we brought it back," and I love that. Like, I don't remember if anybody did that with the Matrix Online, but they should.
That was me with Cartoon Network's Fusion Fall, where there's a fan remake of that.
So you want to hear a funny story? Speaking of Los Luchadores, the girl in that series Soundout was the crazy stalker chick in Smallville. That was also Helena in Dead or Alive.
Yep. God, talk about a trajectory of a career.
Speaking of, it's always weird. Speaking of, I guess related, it always weirds me out where, because I'm currently watching the DCAU shows. I finished Beyond and Zeta Project. It was weird to me where I hear Karen Mulligan's voice, where it's like, oh yeah, he did other voice acting besides the Bond shows.
Yep.
Whereas, like, literally his character in Batman Beyond, literally it sounds like Maggot Defender.
Yeah. SSJ4 Jason. SSJ4 Jason's asked, do you guys think we'll see something special for Taro's 50th anniversary, like a new Ultra Replica Ultra badge?
Probably, maybe something like that, but no.
I mean, they didn't release Jack's Willpower as an Ultra Replica, so I don't know.
I mean, I exist, so that's your willpower right there.
I really wanted Ace's Ultra Rings to get released. I'm going through the chat a little bit. Yeah, I'll let you do it. I'm just like, I feel like I got other comments on this. I'm seeing suggestions for who could be on this charity. This might be an idea we start brewing.
Well, this is an idea, but here's a problem. TG Omega usually doesn't have time.
He does a lot of streaming himself.
And Easy Rider's jokes are always off point. They're usually 2 seconds too late.
Well, I think we'll figure it out.
This is a bulletin board idea we have.
This is a bulletin
But
board
even though he's
idea.
a friend,
We're gonna think
he's a
about
friend
this.
of ours. He might do it, but like I
Yeah.
said, expect the delay.
Expect if we do this, it's going to be a few months out. This will take a lot of planning to figure this
It'll
out.
take a few months out, and it probably won't be the people you're looking for.
It's going to be whoever will
And we're-
agree to do it. You know,
Yeah,
like
you
I
guys
said,
can suggest.
like the ones
I'm not guaranteeing I can get anybody, but I think I can ask a couple
the
people.
ones that the ones that I'm shooting off are probably ones that'll probably do it, because Josh is down to do stuff with us usually. Josh is pretty chill because he helps Sound Out with stuff.
Yeah, Josh.
And I'm
If
pretty
anyone
sure-
ever is wondering, Josh, who runs the Lightning Fig PR Twitter account and all that, he's
Token
my
topics on
go-to
YouTube.
guy for double checking my information on the Lightning Collection rundowns. Like every year, like I think it's 2 years in a row now. I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, did these figures all come out from at least 2 retailers within the year?" And then he always comes back with, "Yep, that one did. That one did. Yep, you got that right." It's like I always appreciate because he keeps track of it way better than I do.
And
Shout out
Cooper
to-
and Cooper Psycho O's can get by harassing him on Twitter.
It's true.
Shout out to Josh for watching the classified video.
Yeah, shout out to Josh. He's awesome. I think if anyone can bridge the gap between the different like subgroups of the tokusatsu like content creators and stuff, it's him. Anyways.
Yeah.
I think we could
not all
I think we
content
could put
creators are
together
nice
some
people.
kind of crazy Loach Luchadores charity stream. And the charity can be something good, not just like our broke toy collecting asses, but like
I would prefer it be our broke toy collecting asses if we have to watch that show.
I
though.
mean, it would be nice, but I think also like it'd be even
I
better if
know.
it was like I don't know. Like I always get inspired every time like Scott the Woz rolls up and it's like, here's my charity event of the year. And I'm just like, dang.
Yeah,
dude,
but
that's
Scott
awesome.
the Woz cultivated children for years to be his monkeys.
We need to.
I mean, I bought his trading
somehow,
cards because they were a charity thing. So
we need to somehow find a way to sneakily get Shawn Nichols into this stream.
No.
Into this.
No,
we don't want to do that to Sean. We're gonna like make him watch his old Max episodes instead. That'd be.
Yeah, we already have that planned. He's been busy because like I messaged him and he was like, "Hey, I'm not ignoring you. I'm busy." I'm like, "Okay, cool. That's great." I'm like, "All right."
Brian mentioned by the time you plan out the stream, Disney will take the YouTube episodes down. Don't worry. Don't worry. Do not worry. Los Luchadores ain't going anywhere if I have anything to say about it. So don't worry about it.
Does Toei copyright the gag dub of 5 Men?
Dynaman?
Probably.
Dynaman, yeah. Did they take that down or did they leave it up because they don't want to admit
because
that
it has
existed?
footage, I would not want to do that one. I would do it on Twitch, but I wouldn't do it on YouTube. But also, I'm not moving everybody to Twitch. We got a good thing going here on YouTube, Lies.
I like how Muteki's just like actually like listing Muteki and like SSJ4, just like listing people who like don't even do what we do and they're too big that they'd want to collaborate. Like I just
You
love
know
how
what?
they're-
If I could get
small ants.
Fwoosh to watch Tokusatsu, I would be the greatest human to ever live because it's funny. He talks about, or at least Robo from Fwoosh. I met him once at a convention. He's super nice.
Which one's
But
Robo?
Is
Is Robo the weird Southern guy?
Yeah, he's the one from Arkansas who does the weekly. I met him at a convention. He came to a convention here. He was helping a guy work a booth, and I was talking to him. He's super nice. He's like super shy in person too. He's like really low energy compared to his videos.
I mean, his videos were already low energy, even when him putting out high energy.
Yeah, like now
Guys-
he is. I gotta tell you, the Fwoosh Weekly is one of the best like toy news shows. Like each week, like it is. It pops really good because he's hit his groove. It's really hard to do that.
Did he do the interview with Jada Toys for the Capcom figures?
That was Veebs. That's the other guy from the Fwoosh.
Okay.
They're the two that make video stuff. But
Eventually, Hero Club's gonna be like this, where they're gonna be like, "No, that's Wheels. That's Sound Out.
Yeah.
That's Darklaw. That's Jerry."
Um,
and then Jerry's like, "I'm from Earth," and we're like, "Yes, Jerry. Right,
with
Jerry? You're from Earth."
with
Wow.
Yeah, he is. So see, Jerry's proving he's from Earth.
Jerry's from Earth.
He's not a Martian, like y'all make him out to be.
But adding to that, I think, like the Fwoosh, the thing is, like whenever the Fwoosh covers Power Rangers, he's always like, I didn't watch much of this, but this looks cool. Like he was super excited about Blue Centurion, and that's the kind of energy that I want to see out of like casual people looking at Lightning Collection.
Oh man, I
is
hope
going
when he
like,
watches
this
it,
is
though,
awesome. Like I love seeing that. That is the best.
I hope though if he ever watches Turbo, he does the inverse though. I would love to see that though, since like Blue Centurion is just like annoying as crap, and Signal Man is just a little bit better.
What about Signal Man?
Signal Man's just a little bit better. I don't really. It's funny. I don't really tolerate either of them, even though I like the comedy in Car Ranger. It's funny. It's just like I just see Signal Man and I'm just like, I want to punch him in the face. It's like watching Samurai Man / Ninja. It's just like I just want to punch him. Just want to punch him.
All right, so but anyways, I think it's getting late.
It is getting late. I know there was probably some questions that we had in the chat that we didn't get to because we're brainstorming an idea. Which I definitely.
Well, here's what you do, and if you want us to actually see them, you got to do super chats.
Super chats are good because the big thing was, I think YouTube does YouTube like super chats for the algorithm too.
Yes, they like it if you do super chats for the algorithm. So even if you do $1, I don't know what the minimum is. Is it $1?
I don't know if there is
$1, but I think it's $2 to actually get a message highlighted though.
Yeah.
Let me double check that.
Because the more money you give,
it's
the more
$2 where you can actually send a message.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, we're pretty good at reading the chat, but if there's a question you feel isn't getting answered and you wanted to push it through super chat, because I will not turn down money.
I like how Kamen Rider 64 is literally asking questions meant for me.
Where are the animes that Saban have dubbed that are lost? That's a whole stream.
Soundout's too young for that stuff. Kamen Rider 64.
I missed some of that too.
I'm too young.
We should wrap up. We have gone like 42 minutes over.
I need to go.
Jerry, you are not the youngest.
Jerry's the youngest now.
No one's gonna hear me. Me hearing him.
Yep. Ryan's got to get going, so we're gonna roll this out here. I love these streams. These have become like highlights of the week.
Oh God, Common Jojo just asked the thing that you and me do on the DL every week.
Common Jojo, ask us again next week. We'll give you a full answer. As long as it's
next week,
and make sure it's after 6 p.m.
Yeah, after 6 p.m. Eastern, ask that question and we'll give you a full answer.
That's when Wheelchair shows up because he's a gargoyle.
He is a gargoyle. Anyways, wrapping it up. As you guys know, because you're already here, and I know if you're commenting, you're a subscriber because I turned that feature on. So stay tuned for this week's videos. Which, by the way, if anyone's been trying to comment and it's not letting you, just hit the subscribe button. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had fun. This is always fun, just hanging out on Mondays. It's made my video schedule, production schedule way easier. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. There's videos coming at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday and Friday. It's a Sentai video on Wednesday, and we're getting the Marvel Legends rundown on Friday. Follow me. Social media links are down here. You can find Ryan on Twitter at DarkClaw643. He does art commissions, so hit him up if you have something. Because, we could all use a little money. I'm going to be real. We do this out of passion and love. Also, be sure to check out Fighter Kaus on Twitch at twitch.tv/FighterKaus. He streams on Tuesdays and Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be on his stream tomorrow at Tuesday at 4 p.m. on twitch.tv/FighterKaus. If you want to hit up questions there, Kaus does allow people to ask questions for me if they want. So
I do. Yes.
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
super fun times. And then check out Wheels on YouTube and Twitter at Wheelchair21. And Hero Club on twitch.tv/HeroClub4Life with Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern for Hero Club Weekly, which I'm on. Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern for Hero Club Game Night, which I'm not on, but Metal and Wheels and a few others stream. What are you guys streaming currently? Is it a new game or is it?
No, Metal's been dicking along Valkyria Chronicles, and
Valkyria
I just want to end
it. And it's been triggering him because he's losing, and then he triggers me because.
Anyways, so
great.
So there's that.
I want to see people get triggered.
And the Geek Fighter stream Saturdays, right?
Saturdays at 5.
At twitch.tv/The Geek Fighters.
Yes.
So there we go. I think we got all the plugs.
I'm playing Lost Judgment.
But yeah, playing Lost Judgment. That's a fun time. So on that note, I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the videos that come out this week. if I'm a total zombie next week, it's because the Marvel video has 161 figures in it. So that is going to be exciting. I hope you all take a look and enjoy it. And that's it for now. So until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.